But if you believe in God, believe in
SP motherfucking I.
believe in that, for real.
I want all the cars. I want all my niggas with the cars. I want all the hoes. I want all the jewelry. We popping bottles.
I told you this, nigga.
In business, the goal is for you to become independent and be the boss, take the responsibility, and also get the profit.
I ain't got no motherfucking boss.
SP motherfucking I.
I told you this, nigga, 2 years ago, you was gonna get left.
The way to make $1 million, first and foremost, is to make it in your mind.
Appreciate that, Lord Hybrid. Appreciate that, bro.
Lord Hybrid, appreciate all of the impact that you got me to do. You got me to make content.
Thank you, Lord Hybrid.
Lord Hybrid, my boy, man. Thank you. Thank you, my boy, Lord Hybrid. Everybody spam up some W's for my boy, Lord Hybrid.
Shout out to Lord Hybrid.
Lord Hybrid.
Lord Hybrid.
Lord Hybrid. Shout out to Lord Hybrid.
Shout out to Lord Hybrid.
I'm saying, Lord Hybrid, I see you, sir. Salute.
I'm getting money out here independently. I own my own brands 100%. And I bought the G-Wagon cash. Lord Hybrid.
And the woman gonna know, okay, he got something. He pulled up in the G-Wagon.
And then I want to give an acknowledgement to my rich friends in the building. Shout out to Lord Hybrid.
Nigga got money.
Yo, Lord Hybrid, my boy got them bands, bro.
I got money too.
I can smell a motherfucker with money. Lord Hybrid up in this bitch.
And Lord Hybrid is in the building.
Lord Hybrid. Lord Hybrid, my brother. Peace to the God.
Boy, Lord Hybrid. So yeah, first thing we do in the morning before anything else is hydrate. So listen, you hear that? You hear that? That's peace and quiet, bro. See, it's good to keep your house quiet, because when you got quiet, you can think. So I be done thought of some stuff, and I turn my thoughts into a lot of different things. So this is spring water. So you start with the spring water. See what I'm saying? We go spring water, and we go coconut water. So this is good organic coconut water. Take that. And we go about half, right? I'm giving y'all the game. These other dumbass niggas can't get you because they ain't got it. So half coconut water. Coconut water has a lot of electrolytes and things like that in it. Okay, so we go half coconut water and half spring water. Now, with this, what we do is we go cranberry. Throw some cranberry, so it's actually cranberry water. I'm gonna pour a little bit more of this water up in here. All right, get a little bit more cranberry. So we go cranberry, all right? Okay. Now this ain't that old, this ain't no, you see this ain't no ocean spray. This is organic, pure cranberry, not from concentrate, fresh pressed. This is the highest quality cranberry you can get. This is real cranberry juice, not that bullshit from ocean spray. This the cranberry juice that OG cranberry, that's organic. You got to pay $15 for this bottle right here. You can't get no ocean spray. See what I'm saying? So we go there. This for your kidneys. You don't need a lot of it, right? So you put that in there. Now, what I do is we add to this. Put this back over here before I knock it over. Because these cost money too. These harmless coconut water, they ain't cheap anyway. I don't know if I bought. Did I buy some more coconut water? Did I buy? I don't think I bought no extra coconut water because I had some already. Everything. I don't look at the prices. But yeah, like this is coconut chocolate. They $5 each and you get the little one. You know what I'm saying? But with these joints, I can't remember how much they cost. But they ain't cheap. I don't look at the price though, but they're not cheap. But so with the water and the coconut water I add was called colostrum. Colostrum is if you don't know what it is, it's a big health trend right now. But if you don't know what colostrum is actually the milk from the cow, but it's like from the first day that the calf is born. So it has the highest amount of nutrients and stuff like that. So like even women, like mammals, on them first days after they give birth, the milk that they give the babies is to form their immune system and organs and everything. So it's the highest concentration of nutrient-dense milk that is available. So a lot of people are doing colostrum. I actually have a subscription to colostrum because I do it every day. So I got them stacked up. I ain't used this one yet. Just got this one. So they say like 4 scoops. I do like 5 to 6 scoops. I'm on extra. And I do that. Right? Just gonna keep you healthy. Like both of my guys got sick. One of my guys caught the shingles. Now what shingles is like if you ever had chicken pox or any form of herpes, and you know they clown people for herpes, but look, everybody got herpes. I got it, you got it. If you ever had chicken pox, that's a form of herpes. Shingles, herpes. If you get a fever blister on your lip, herpes. And damn sure if you get the bumpy dick or the bumpy coochie, herpes. So herpes is widely spread amongst the American population and the population of the world. So just about everybody. Like when I was a little kid, they said, you gonna get chicken pox. My grandma told me, you're gonna get the chicken pox, you only get it once. And I got the chicken pox, and it's basically a bunch of herpes blisters all over your damn body, arms, legs, and you gotta suffer, and then you become immune to it. So, but the herpes virus, it's a herpes virus that stays within your system. And so it comes out as shingles. Like if you get older, usually people over 50, and my man ain't even 50 yet. But he caught it. Then my other guy, he caught the flu. He was down like a week and a half, couldn't work. And both of these guys work for me. So in here I got water, cranberry juice. So I call it cranberry water. And I squeeze a half a lime. So pardon me while I squeeze this lime. Yeah, you ain't gotta watch me squeeze this motherfucking lime. You ain't gotta see everything, nigga. Giving you the game, nigga. I'm telling you how the right way to start your day. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so now I have squeezed this lime into this water. So I got spring water. And then what I do, I just refill this. Spring water, spring water, cranberry juice, a half a lime, and we got one more magic ingredient we put up in here. Over here, I got my colostrum, and I'm about to start adding something new. I think I'm gonna start adding it today. I think I'm gonna start adding collagen peptides to it. You know what I mean? It's probiotic, collagen, peptides. We're gonna add that up in here. This is gonna be the first day I ever add that. And the one more ingredient we have right here, this is what we call Himalayan pink sea salt. So Himalayan pink salt, it's a very clean, pure salt. Like even regular sea salt, the ocean is polluted, so it has some of the contaminants. But Himalayan pink salt is the only pure salt because it comes from ancient seas that was calcified and all that thousands of years ago before the ocean was polluted. So this is the best salt. So this is what I use, and it got a lot of minerals and lower sodium than that table salt. I don't fuck with table salt. I can't even tolerate table salt. So screw this open. I try to get equivalent about a half a teaspoon. It mineralizes and acts as an electrolyte. And they tell you salt is bad. Table salt is bad, but this salt is not that bad. So I got about that much on there. You see that? So I do that like 3 times to get like about a half a teaspoon worth in there. Okay, so you got that. So that's the Himalayan, and this is my morning hydration. This is my morning hydration. Boom, blah.
Yo, it's your boy Lord Hybrid back on this YouTube stream doing what I do. You know what I'm saying? And I just been collecting data, as I see it, and just seeing what thoughts get sparked from the data that I see and that I collect. And just looking at a lot of stuff and just reevaluating, my position on things, including just the leadership of the government, like just looking at President Trump and like, do I agree or disagree with what he's doing? Is it benefiting us or not? And it's a good question because I'm starting to disagree more with what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like how he's doing it. It's like everything got to be a fight, and now it's coming back on us. I mean, in a lot of ways, I'm benefiting from it because some of the assets that I own are increasing in value, but some aren't. But what are the effects that's having on the people? How are the people doing? You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for showing up to the channel and listening. But you know, I was thinking about this, and you know, what are we seeing out here?
Paying attention, but something is happening with our workforce.
Here we are, January 2026, and not to disappoint, it has come in with a bang. What can I say? Laid off once again.
Nobody cares if you live or die at these major tech companies.
I was laid off this morning, quite literally on my way to work. They asked me to pull over on the side of the highway, and they told me over the phone.
Good morning. Yesterday I was let go of my job of 17 years from corporate.
Because how long is it gonna take?
But I noticed that a lot of women are being laid off. I mean, you can look at that and say, good, maybe they're gonna go back to the kitchen, but they probably won't. But when I look at the whole AI thing, I see more bad than good. 'Cause I'm like, I think they said AI by itself is going to take 50% of the energy production that we do as the energy consumption that we do as a country. Now, AI need like half that much just to run. So major energy consumption. To what end? Okay, to take jobs. So he went, like, I remember he went over to Saudi Arabia, President Trump, and he solicited trillions of dollars to come bring AI infrastructure into the United States. That's going to take jobs, and it's taking jobs. You know, the biggest growing demographic of unemployed is newly minted college graduates. So the way I'm starting to analyze this current administration is like bringing in the oligarchy into the United States. I don't know. It overall, is it a benefit to us to give all of this stuff to these tech oligarchs and take away jobs from people in the name of progress? Or is it just a sinister plan to remove jobs and force us to be dependent on the government, or force us into, you know, more people in a serfdom or poverty? I don't know what the hell it is, but I know it's a lot of things that's not good as a result. So I'm like, if you're going to invest, why not invest in something that's going to be beneficial to the people? You know what I mean? Like, why invest in stuff? Yes, it's cool, it's technologically advanced. And the way I see it is, like, if you look at the financial structure of OpenAI, it can't be profitable. Then they got all these people investing into this company, but all of the money's borrowed. So to me, OpenAI looks like a Ponzi scheme, because it's all borrowed money, and then it's financially not feasible. And then if it doesn't work, they file bankruptcy. Then the banks get left with all of these hundreds of billions and trillions of dollars in losses. Then the banks run to the government and say, bail me out with our money. You see what I'm saying? So they're borrowing money to invest in something that's unsustainable. Then they didn't put no money in. They ain't going to lose no money. Or they could just say, well, they done sucked all the money out, took billions, and people done got rich off something that wouldn't work. And then they just going to The banks don't pay the banks back, file bankruptcy, and then the banks say, "Hey, the government, we too big to fail, bail us out." And so it's just a way for these guys like Sam Altman to steal money from the taxpayer through something that ain't even feasible. That's what it looked. It looked like a big scam to me, especially OpenAI. That don't look feasible at all to me. Now, who's getting hurt the most from this thing? As always and as usual, it's the sisters. And this is a recent article. This is what is recent. I can't see the date on it. But it says Black women turn to one another as their career paths suddenly recede. Man, I ain't rooting for the Black women to not be able to get no jobs. Would it be nice to have them back in the kitchen? Yes, but hey, man. Black female professionals have seen a steep drop in employment over the last year. And Trump's been in office the last year. They are turning to each other for pep talks and resume advice. Okay, so this is January 17th. When Nika Obikwe started a WhatsApp group chat in September, she was just trying to help her out of work friends. The sisters ain't got no damn jobs. A consultant and skilled networker, Miss Obikwe, 37, she probably ain't got no kids or no man, is the kind of person friends turn to when they're looking for a referral or connection to a hiring manager. But since March, she had been receiving pleas every few weeks. By autumn, her network was tapped out. Damn. Most of the people reaching out were like Miss Obikwe, Black women, and she started to feel that they needed a community as much as referrals. They need husbands. She created the WhatsApp chat called Black Women Rising, no Black Women Getting Fired, and posted the link on her threads. Okay. She moved the group to Discord, a messaging platform that could better organize the 500 or so daily messages people were sending in channels with names like Share Your Good News or Vent Amongst Friends. They shared job updates. I have a screening call with the recruiter tomorrow. Wish me luck. Or lamented about getting ghosted. They said I'm in the lead, but haven't heard from them in a month. You ain't in the lead, bitch. One person wrote, the job market is not great right now. Hiring has slowed. Artificial intelligence is replacing some knowledge workers, but Black women have been hit especially hard. The unemployment rate for Black women rose significantly from the start of 2025 to December, where it stood at 7.8%. That pattern of dramatic job loss was not seen for other groups because they got a lot of bullshit jobs, and plus they got a lot of them DEI jobs where they just hired the woman because she was Black and she was a woman. And now that DEI is over with, a lot of them found out that their job was fake. You don't see that same loss with Black men because Black men got to go do real jobs. You don't see that same loss with other groups of women, said Valerie Wilson, a labor economist and director of the program on race, ethnicity, and the economy at the Economic Policy Institution. See, you got a DEI job. Those doors
Those doors began to close after the Supreme Court ruled against affirmative action in university admissions in 2023, and companies started to pull back on diversity and inclusion commitments. Right, DEI went away. President Trump's return to office seems to have accelerated that trend. The black bitches probably didn't want to take their lazy asses back to work. Okay, so the president in 2025, the number of companies publicly committing to diversity and inclusion dropped significantly. DEI ended. So you had a fake fucking DEI job. Trump cut that shit out, and all the people that had bullshit jobs got spit out of the economy. And most of them, or a large percentage of them, is black women. They had bullshit ass fucking I'm a black woman job, and then coming in there to these corporations and teaching you how to you need to learn the culture of black people, and you need to embrace your gay manager who's staring at your dick or whatever the fuck. They have bullshit ass jobs, and they getting spit out of the economy.
Lord Hybrid is right.
From the first day of his administration, Mr. Trump sought to remove diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, both in the federal government, and a lot of black women work in the federal government, sitting at bullshit ass jobs, getting a check off our fucking tax dollars for doing bullshit. Both in the federal government and the private sector. Those programs were originally designed to eliminate historical biases in hiring. Many of the women interviewed, echoing broader criticism, said Mr. Trump seemed to be deliberately misconstructing the term DEI, turning it into a reason to dismiss highly qualified black people. Where you at? I need you, bro.
Get the fuck out my face with that bullshit. No. Stop it.
I needed you, Eddie. And the thing is, a DEI job, when shit get real, corporations are going to look at the bottom line and cut the least important and least value-added line items. And if you cut a DEI job, it's not going to have any impact on your ability to conduct business. You just got a DEI person in there getting money, getting a check that doesn't add to productivity, that doesn't add to anything other than teaching you a bunch of crap they learned at the liberal college about African-American studies. And this shit ain't going to be worth shit. So now, you know, people need productive capital. People need to cut the fat. People want to, and people even want to take, and corporations want to take the additional money that they got and invest in shit that's going to go up. And the DEI job, then when the government, companies usually do what the government encourages. Just like Ford, GM, all of them, they encourage them to go electric. Now, most of them lost billions of dollars listening to the government. They went electric. They made the Ford F-150 Lightning. They built all these factories to do more EVs, and nobody was buying them. Because people don't really want a Ford EV. If they want an EV, they're going to go buy a fucking Tesla. So you got Ford, GM making all these EVs that people don't want from them. When you think of a GM, you want a big fucking V8 Tahoe, you know what I'm saying? Or a big ass Sierra pickup truck. You think Ford, you want an F-150 or you want a Mustang, and you don't want no electric. You want a gas one. You want to hear the engine go vroom, vroom. When you think of an EV, you want a damn Tesla because you know he going to make the best EVs. So the government encouraged the automakers to get into EVs, and they did it, and they lost billions of dollars, and now they're closing all them plants and getting rid of those people who's making the EVs that ain't selling. Well, in this case, under Biden, they was encouraging DEI, hire trans people, hire, black women, hire this, hire that. And now that Trump came in, he was like, fire them. So the corporations is gonna do that. Now, is Trump racist? I don't think Trump's racist. I think black women was real terrible to Trump. I never heard too many black women say anything positive. They said the most nastiest things. They voted against him 97%. So who he gonna kick in the nuts when he get it back? He gonna kick his enemies in the nuts. And black women position themselves as his enemies. So he's like, all I gotta do is pull a plug on this DEI, and I'm gonna rug pull all these black bitches. And that's what he's doing. Plus, corporations are glad to get rid of trim the fat because we didn't want to hire these black bitches anyway. You was just making us do all this DI shit. Now Trump came in here, we ain't got to do it, man. Cut those bitches and they gone. So, oh yeah.
When you look at what Lord Hybrid is saying, he's right about all that, really.
From the first day of his administration, Mr. Trump sought to remove diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives both in the federal government and the private sector. Those programs were originally designed to eliminate historical biases in hiring. Many of the women interviewed, echoing broader criticism, said Mr. Trump seemed to be deliberately misconstruing the term DEI, turning it into a reason to dismiss highly qualified black people. Y'all just getting y'all payback, and y'all shouldn't be so polarized and demon. Like, look, if you don't like Trump, you disagree with him, but you ain't gotta. He's the devil. He's a fascist. He's this. He's that. And you see what's happening, and it ain't just black women. He's shooting these white bitches in the face. Yo, you know what he on. DEI professionals started to lose their jobs, but even black women not involved in diversity work said they felt a chill. In December, the head of the EEOC issued an appeal to white men who felt it's always racial based. To white men who felt they had been discriminated against, to white men. And Mr. Trump told the New York Times this month that white people were very badly treated as a result of protections from the Civil Rights Act. Damn, he's cutting niggas down. The tone from the Trump administration is not lost on black women looking for work. In Black Women Rising and other group texts, professionals are sharing worries and strategies as the job market shifts. Some are taking a step back from corporate careers and starting their own businesses. Now, see, that could be a positive thing if y'all know how to run a business and become profitable. Most of the time, women bad at business because women can't stop spending money. They had Cam arguing with his ex-girl, Cameron the rapper, about she wanted him to invest in some bad business. He said no. He told her don't do it. She did it anyway, and the shit didn't work, and she lost $100,000. Then once she got in, after he told her don't invest in that because it was a bad idea, she went in and said, "Yo, Cam, I need 25 stacks because I need to fix this thing." It was some kind of like a wedding, a place to hold weddings. Now, if you know the basic trends in American society, you wouldn't be investing in nothing about weddings. People ain't getting married no more. I was just telling my pops that today. And she was investing in that, and then he was like, "Okay, I'll run it by my lawyer." And he came back with terms. If I put 25K in this, I want this. And she was like, "I felt like you was taking my blood and all of that." And he said, "Look, young lady, it's business. If you want me to invest in your business, these are the terms. Take it or leave it. And if you don't like the terms, don't think because we used to have a relationship that's going to affect how I do business." Like when I was talking to the game dudes, I told them I would prefer not to do business with my woman, but if I do, I'm gonna do it in a way that's gonna be advantageous to me. I'm not just gonna invest in her. And then when she blow the money, be like, it didn't work because you didn't give me enough money. No, bitch. I'm gonna make it advantageous to me to where I can't lose because I'm not willing to lose for you.
Lord Hybrid is right.
You know what I'm saying? So Trump is saying, yo, they treated white people bad, and they did treat white people bad. The tone from the Trump, I made a video a long time ago called The Pendulum Swings. And I was talking about how bad they treating the white people. And I was like, they dissing the white people, they disrespecting the white people, they doing all this stuff. All pendulum swings and then swings back. So white people done started saying fuck that, and they done got emboldened by certain voices, and they standing up for themselves. And now they got a dude in the White House who's standing up for them. The tone from the Trump administration is not lost on black women looking for work. And black women rising in other group texts, professional assurance strategies and shifts. Some are taking a step back and starting businesses. Those who worked in diversity and inclusion are wiping those references from their resumes. Just Trump don't smack them bitches down. There are people. See, now, if you used to be the diversity and inclusion manager at the bank and they done laid your monkey ass off because you really wasn't doing shit, niggas don't hide that shit on their resume. They don't want to say I was the diversity and inclusion manager. Now they want to change that shit to be like I was a people manager for Citigroup. You see what I'm saying? He got them bitches running scared. There are people who are hanging on for dear life and they're calling out like, when will this season end? She said. In May, Erica Hatfield, 44. Look at her. Where's that? Let me get that. Okay. In May, Erica Hatfield, 44, was laid off from the Education Reform Now, a nonprofit think tank where she was vice president of communications. That's a bullshit ass job. Where when Mr. Trump returned to the White House, she felt an immediate change. She said her organization worked with government agencies, particularly the Department of Education, and many of those federal workers started leaving or lost their jobs. Fundraising became harder, and she said work slowed. Miss Hatfield, she's 44 and unmarried. Miss Hatfield, where's your fucking husband, Miss Hatfield? I'm telling you, this is what President Trump is saying to these black bitches.
Sit down and shut the fuck up, bitch.
And that's how he treating them. Miss Hatfield, probably childless and manless, and don't need no man, and got a bullshit ass degree from a liberal ass goddamn college, says this is the worst job market she's experienced. Trump is breaking his foot off in these bitches' ass. She has an MBA and is open to senior roles in marketing. Oh, she got the MBA degree, the college degree, the liberal arts degree. She got the public science degree, the MBA. She got all kind of goddamn degrees and they ain't got no motherfucking job. Is open to senior roles in marketing and business development or as a chief of staff. I would not hire that bitch to do nothing. Not in my business with all them degrees. She has stopped identifying her race on job applications. Okay, on the applications, okay. I feel like if I do, that's harming me, said Ms. Hatfield, who lives in Dallas. As she looks for work in her field, Ms. Hatfield took a job at the front desk of a Soul Cycle where she can take free spin classes. This bitch worked, her and her MBA and all her degrees, she working as a secretary at a fucking gym. And that's about all she qualified to do. You see, she got that job.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Okay, so as she looks for work on her field, Miss Hatfield took a job at the front desk of a Soul Cycle. Soul Cycle, that's probably a black gym where she can take free spin classes. She joined Black Women Rising in the fall and now offers to provide feedback on resumes for others in the chat. Bitch, you can't get a job. Bitch. Lady, how you gonna give everybody else goddamn advice on their resumes and feedback on their resumes when you can't get a job with your resume? Okay, so she offers that feedback on resume. Liz Renee, a 34-year-old who lives in a suburb of Washington, D.C., is also in the Black Women Rising chat and is thinking hard about her resume. When she graduated from the University of Georgia, she chose jobs that allow her to do learning and development work for underrepresented groups. See that? A DEI fucking job. That means training dumbass niggas to do some bullshit because she don't know how to do shit. She chose to teach learning and development. What the fuck are you teaching them? Or teaching them how to learn? I don't know. She has stints at the Washington public school system. She probably could be a decent teacher. Google, and I know Google got rid of that ass as soon as that DI shit went away. And most recently, advertising firm Ogilvy. Liz Renee, 34, estimates that she's applied to hundreds of jobs since being laid off in June. Damn, she got laid off in June. That's 6 months. God damn. Look at her. Kind of a big lady, not a bad looking lady. I mean, she ain't the best looking lady. She's like an average looking lady, but I'd hit that. I mean, you know, not date her, but she probably is a raging feminist. At Ogilvy, she ran a leadership development program for Black men and helped plan celebrations for Hispanic Heritage Month. Funding for those initiatives dried up. So she a leadership development program. How you gonna teach a Black man how to be a leader? Fuck out of here. And then she planned celebrations for Hispanic Heritage Month. So at least they could have gave the leadership development program job. At least it could have got a Black man to do that job. They got a chick to teach Black men how to lead, and then a Black chick to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. How does that improve a company bottom line? What are you producing that's going to help a company be more profitable? Of course, you're going to be the bullshit that they're going to goddamn get rid of. You know what I'm saying? And how this lady thinks she's going to teach Black men how to be leaders. Why we can't get a Black man to teach leadership to Black men?
What the fuck you know about what I need on my mind, motherfucker?
It was just really skin and bones by the end, she said. At the end of June, she was told she was being laid off. Miss Renee, MS, you ain't gonna see no MRS, meaning Mrs., they're gonna be Miss. Renee estimates that she's applied to hundreds of jobs. You know what that means? You have no value in the workplace. Your skills aren't valued by any type of productive business. That's what that means. I'm sorry, sister, but you done got your DEI degree. You done planned birthday parties for Hispanics. You done did all that stuff. And now that you actually got to go out there based on your skills, you putting out hundreds of resumes telling people, I planned Hispanic month celebrations for my last job. And I taught Black men how to lead. And they're saying,
Get the fuck out my face with that bullshit. No. Stop it.
they don't want to hear that shit.
You know, and my daughters, you know what they're being taught to be? Wives and mothers. Oh, you want to be ignorant. No, college is what makes you stupid.
And it certainly made this lady stupid. So again, Miss Renee estimates that she's applied to hundreds of jobs. She stopped making reference to DEI on her resume, but she's weighing what to say if she gets to the interview. Now they got the bitch scared to show up to the interview. I want to be able to talk freely about my work and not having to censor myself, Miss Renee said. So you want to go in the interview, and when they ask you why you qualified to do this job, because we need data analysis or we need something productive, and you gonna have to tell them, well, I taught black men how to lead, and I do celebrations for Hispanics and Hispanic Month, and they're gonna be like,
shut the fuck up.
The months of being out of work have forced her to reckon with the career she had envisioned for herself. She was the first in her family to graduate from college and has always worked. Finding the next job has always been easy. So this whole experience has been humbling, and that's what they need. They need to be humbled. She said, it's been humbling. I'm glad you're getting some humbling because you need it. Goodbye, corporate career. Climbing the corporate ladder feels more arduous to black women as companies have grown quieter about commitments to inclusive hiring and the job market grows more volatile, said Dr. Angela Jackson, a lecturer at Harvard and director of the Future Forward Institute. They money finna dry up. Her institute surveyed black female executives in 2024 and 2025 and found that just 8% expressed optimism about their career progression, a decline from 28% 2 years earlier. Yeah, because Biden was selling you all that DI bullshit that he knew was unsustainable just to get you to vote for him, and he knew that it was bullshit. The corporations wasn't going to keep holding it up. The government wasn't going to keep holding it up. And when the shit changed, when the tide go out, you find out who ain't got no damn drawers on. So when the tide go out, it's going to be the truly productive professionals and people who bring true value-added knowledge and abilities to corporations that's going to keep. And the people who just there taking up spaces because they black or they DEI, they gonna get washed out with the tide. They gonna be exposed. They ain't got no damn drawers on. And I hope you don't think they care because
they don't give a fuck.
So yeah, Biden had them damn chicks. I mean, the Democrats get them every time. They just get these black women. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, the Republicans ain't much better than the Democrats, but the Democrats know how to sell that bullshit to black people, or specifically black women, and black women is gonna go for that shit. Yes, we need the government to do this. No, bitch, you need value-added, high-value skills in the marketplace. That's what the fuck you need. You don't need the government to make DI initiatives because that's only gonna last until they pass another fucking bill and get rid of that shit. We saw a tremendous amount of hesitancy where people either thought they were unsure of their trajectory or the vast majority were nervous that their jobs were at risk. Dr. Jackson said, Arit Nsamo, 39, is done with corporate life, at least for now. After graduating from college in 2009, with probably a bunch of student loan debt and a bunch of bullshit ass degrees, she took on various roles at software startups. I wonder what those roles were. They said various roles. Were they really value-added roles? By early 2025, she was on the senior leadership team of a logistics software company where she was head of customer success, the team responsible for working with existing clients. So basically, she was the head of customer service. In June, Miss whatever her name is company eliminated her role for the first time in her career. She decided to take a break. Yeah, because she was a goddamn glorified customer service representative, but with a title lead customer success. No, bitch, you was a customer service representative and you was overpaid. And when the shit got thick, or when Trump got in and be like, you don't got to hire no motherfuckers just because they black or they women, all that shit washed out. In June, so she decided to take a break. Then she took a sharp turn. She started working at an independent bookstore. See, when the bullshit DEI jobs go, you see they always downgrade. They never make a lateral move to something that's just as good. They go down. The last bitch was went from the head of some bullshit to working at the front desk at a gym. Now this lady, she started working at an independent bookstore. She ain't even working at like Barnes and Nobles and those shit. She working at some local bookstore, probably making minimum wage. You know what I'm saying? For the first time in her career, she decided to take a break. She started working at an independent bookstore. She makes a quarter. You see, they go down. She makes a quarter of her former salary, but prefers the atmosphere. Yeah, bitch, because you sitting in a little ass bookstore sipping on lattes, you probably getting them for free, making a bullshit ass salary. This shit pitiful, bro. I'm not constantly correcting people when they say something awkward about my hair or my name, she said. And that's the problem with working in a DEI environment, because people who might be unfamiliar with you culturally, with your poofy hair, whatever the fuck natural hairdo you got, or the dreadlocks or whatever the fuck, they might say, hey, what kind of style is that? Now, they're not familiar with that. And you getting all mad. I have to correct you. This is not a fucking dreadlock. This is actually a Afro puff. And they don't even give a fuck. Why are you having to correct them? Just explain it to them. But, them HR bitches, they'll get you on anything. Trust me, I used to work in HR. She said there's so much less emotional labor required working at a bookstore than working in tech. You wasn't in tech, bitch. It wasn't nothing that they said that you was doing that was technical. Fuck out of here. A path eliminated. Francesca Weems, 39, with no man, started her own consulting firm after her previous role was eliminated. Okay, so let's see what Francis got to say. This past fall, Francesca Weems went to dinner in the Bay Area with some of her girlfriends. All were black women. All had been laid off. They probably at the dinner table arguing with each other about who gonna pay the tab because they all broke and laid off.
Get my money, you cheap bitch.
All were black women. All had been laid off in the past year. Ms. Weems, 39, grew up in Hawaii in the foster care system. That's unfortunate. Before earning a full academic scholarship to UC Berkeley, where she received both a bachelor's and master's degree. They always got to get like 8 degrees. She worked at a public relations firm in various roles, including leading the inclusion efforts, DI job, bullshit ass job, in her regional office. In 2021, she was promoted to help guide DEI strategies for the firm's Fortune 500 clients. So now she's going to a bunch of Fortune 500 companies talking about, you need to stop being mean to black people. You need to stop asking about why their hair all fucked up. You need to stop goddamn asking why that dude wearing a dress. And you need to get comfortable with that dude in that dress. And if he grab your butt, you just got to understand that that's a part of who they is. So she was Fortune 500 clients and helped them oversee all DEI hiring and retention initiatives inside the firm. So now you need to hire more black women and more gays. Because look, this whole DEI, you know who they forgot about? Forgot about us, the black guys. That's why I say the best two allies in America is the black man and the white man, the Christian man. The white traditional Christian white man and the black man. Because those are the ones who get left out of everything. Because you notice DEI is only for women, black, white women, all other kind of women, non-whites, black women, non-whites, and other kinds of women. Who get left out? The black man and the white man. So we are natural allies. I don't know why we keep not taking advantage of that and unifying as the black man and the white man. I'm not talking about the Jews or the other kind of white man. I'm talking about the regular old Christian white man. So she was promoted to help guide these strategies for the firm's Fortune 500 clients and help oversee all DEI hiring and retention initiatives inside the firm. So hiring a bunch of black chicks and begging them not to quit even though they ain't doing their job. Retention. She would tell colleagues and clients about how before entering the foster care system, she had experienced homelessness and needed supplemental nutrition assistance, SNAP benefits. It was a way to reinforce how the diversity and equity work her team was doing could make an impact. Then in August, her firm eliminated her role. Look. Then in August, her firm eliminated her role. She then watched with dismay as the Trump administration stopped funding SNAP benefits temporarily during the government shutdown. Watching this unfold has been devastating, Ms. Weems said. All the programs and policies that had helped her were ending or being attacked. And that's because you black women attacked him, so he attacked y'all back because he knew all y'all was DI hires and hooked on SNAP. I broke this year because I could not see little Fran getting into these spaces. I couldn't see her getting out of poverty. I couldn't see her getting to the space that I'm in now. That was the tough part to really grapple with. She still sees a career working with executives who care about equity and inclusion and has started her own consulting practice to do so. That shit ain't gonna make no money. I guarantee you she ain't making no money. Because if she's doing an independent DEI consulting firm and nobody in the corporate space is doing DEI no more, who's the fucking clients? You was working for a big company that was doing that kind of stuff and they got rid of your role because that stuff got cut off. Now you gonna start a goddamn company doing the same goddamn shit. The same goddamn shit.
You dummy!
Yeah, so we'll give Trump this right here. President Trump is making black women broke again. He ain't making them great again. Them bitches is broke. They can't get no motherfucking jobs. And I think they're not going to learn because they're going to play the victim. But I think they need to learn to better understand politics, take the emotions out of it, and just look at issues. And even the person they think they disagree with, try to find something that you agree with them with so you can start working on your logic and stop personalizing it like this person is evil and this person is good. No, this person represents a set of policies and the other person represents a set of policies. And there's no one person that you can agree with 100%. So you should look at the person you think is bad, who's not bad. He just has a bunch of policies that you've been programmed to disagree with, and just look for yourself and see what you can agree with. My man Big Dog TV, shout out. He said, does this mean more women will enter the sex workforce? I don't know. Because I think even that, like, OnlyFans is becoming overcrowded. It's like I see certain trends going on economically within the economy. It's like rap pretty much is dead. So especially like for the older rappers, but for a lot of rappers. So what's hot? Streaming. So now rappers are streaming. Nobody don't want to hear them rap no more. So now everybody's streaming. So the established and podcasting. So the established streamers and podcasters, they're in the power position, but their work is being devalued because more labor is coming in. More competition is coming in. You see what I'm saying? So everybody got a stream, rappers streaming, rappers podcasting, and that was like most of the new ones that's coming in, they're not having success. They just going to wherever they can go to where they think is hot. They're not doing anything unique. They're just trying to run to something that they think is viable. Okay, so we talked about that. Now, what else is going on? Now, let's talk about the youth. What are the youth doing?
All right. Well, as costs rise, younger generations now turning to what's known as financial nihilism, as they feel the economy isn't working for them. The Wall Street Journal noting, quote, younger adults are consistently searching for returns in a system that offers.
In Big Dog TV, so it's like all the rappers were going to streaming, so that's gonna get overcrowded. It's gonna be harder to get money. It's like if you a drug dealer and you start selling drugs on your block and everybody's buying from you, you're gonna make a lot of money. But then everybody sees you making money, and then now on your block is 15 dudes selling the same drugs you selling. That's gonna reduce everybody's money. So that's what's gonna happen. That's what happened with the sex economy. Now all these women getting spit out. OnlyFans is already overcrowded. Now, the people who got on OnlyFans early, you got people that got in and got out and made millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? But now you got all these women like, they made millions of dollars. And everybody jumped on OnlyFans. And now it's harder to get somebody because now if you go to OnlyFans, I've never been on OnlyFans in my life. But now if you go to OnlyFans and search, there's a billion chicks doing the same stuff. So now it's less money for the creators because there's so many creators flooding in. So basically, the price of pussy is gonna go way down. So if you're in the market to buy it, it's gonna be cheaper. So that's the win for whoever's buying. You know what I'm saying? So will they go to sex work? I'm quite sure a lot of them will do that. You know what I mean? I would rather them go back in the kitchen instead of doing all this stupid shit and finding out it don't work and then turning to sex work. Why don't you just reevaluate yourself and be like, you know what? It'd be better for me to just get a man and be a wife. I hope they would do that and then do a good job of it, not just be trying to trick these guys out of their money and get them to marry them and take advantage of them, but actually try to make a good thing. You know what? Let me just go back to the traditional route. I doubt they'll do it because they don't think like that, and they've been so programmed to be anti-patriarchal and all that stuff. But actually, especially with this, like AI, look, he talking about $18 trillion invested in investment commitments into AI data centers and AI software and stuff like that in the United States. So that means most intellectual jobs, customer service, anything that's not physical, customer service, all the way up to like aspects of legal, accounting, they can just start feeding all this data into the AI, and the AI will be able to do it cheaper. You know what I'm saying? So most women don't do labor jobs. Most women do more intellectual jobs, even if it's not that intellectual, like it's just like, customer service or secretarian, or you can get an AI assistant to do a lot of that stuff. So their options are going to be less. And everybody can't be a content creator, whether it be on OnlyFans or even TikTok or YouTube. I mean, everybody's complaining. Like everybody said, people ain't making money on TikTok no more. It's harder to get paid on YouTube because everybody's doing it. So I don't know what's gonna happen. That's all I can say. I don't know.
All right. Well, as costs rise, younger generations now turning to what's known as financial nihilism, as they feel the economy isn't working for them. The Wall Street Journal noting, quote, younger adults are consistently searching for returns in a system that offers them few traditional ones. And those platforms, from crypto exchanges to betting apps, benefit enormously from that search, since their profit is built on top of the very volatility the young people are trying to navigate. Here to react is personal finance.
If you out here betting online, you stupid, man. Especially if you're a normal person. Like if you're not rich and just betting money that you can afford to blow or lose. I've never betted. I don't bet. But that's the dumbest shit.
Finance expert Dave, profit is built on top of the very volatility the young people are trying to navigate. Here to react is personal finance expert Dave Ramsey. Dave, great to see you. So
you
essentially,
too. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. So essentially, these younger generations, they no longer believe that this economy benefits long-term planning. Do you agree with that assessment?
Well, that is an opinion piece, not a research piece in the Wall Street Journal by a Gen Z who's disillusioned. And we run into some folks that are disillusioned and have lost hope. But we also run into portions of Gen Zs and millennials who are on fire and are taking full advantage of this robust economy, and they've not been held back. I'm meeting a surprising number of them that are becoming millionaires by the time they're 30.
Well, so what advice do you have for them then?
Well, I think the thing is this: don't believe all the TikTok rhetoric that the American dream is dead because your communist college professor told you that. The American dream is not dead. It's the best time in human history to build wealth. It's the easiest time to start a business. It's the easiest time to take advantage of the wonderful things that AI and the internet are bringing us as opportunities. Don't believe that and become hopeless. And also, don't fall victim to the big banks that are trying to screw you, saying what's in your wallet. Right? Because what's in your wallet ought to be your cash, not their credit card.
And I agree 100% with what he's saying. Basically, wealth and poverty is a mentality. Everything you do is based on your mentality. And see, a lot of these younger people, they don't have enough. I mean, I didn't when I was young. I didn't have enough reference. I thought it was hard. And, like when I came out of college, it was a economic, somewhat of a downturn. And that was like 99, 2000, something like that. 98, 99, yeah, like 98, 99. And you know, I couldn't really like get a full-time job. I was getting temp jobs. And so you'll be working at the corporation and everybody in there works for the corporation and you're a temp. And when you working as a temp back then, I don't know how it is now, but you was kind of like a second-class citizen in the job. You know what I mean? Because they had benefits. They had, you know, they just felt like they was better than you, and you felt like they was better than you because they was full-time and you was a temp. Like if it wasn't working out with you over the weekend, they'll just call your temp company. They didn't even have to fire you. They'll just call the temp company, be like, don't send that nigga back here. Then you be getting ready to go to work and you get a call from the temp company and you be like, damn, these niggas calling me. Like, yeah, that job's not available anymore. We'll start looking for another position for you. And now you ain't got no fucking job. You know what I'm saying? So I felt kind of down and out, but I didn't have nobody on TikTok because it wasn't no TikTok telling me, you know, man, there's no jobs for young people and we can't do shit and I'm broke and all of us are broke. No, we didn't have that. And, you know, to a certain extent, for the most part, when you starting off young, you should expect to be broke for a while. You should expect to be broke for your entire 20s. That's when you scraping and scrambling for shit and trying to figure out your footing and what you're going to do and what direction you're going to go. Then by the time you get in your 30s, you just kind of, okay, I'm still not making a lot of money, but I kind of found my career path. You know what I'm saying? And I'm on my career path, so I got a little more. So you ain't going to get your first, most people don't get their first stability until they in their 30s. And then after that, you spend your 30s getting your experience and, you know, learning your way and getting your legs up under you. Then by the time you in your 40s, you'll start making some money.
And stay away from a $1,200 car payment. Hello, you won't be able to buy a house if you have that. Oh, and of course, if you've gotten trapped with the Congress's ridiculous student loan hoax, well, you've got to claw your way out of that. You get rid of those debts, you've got the ability to build wealth in a wonderful time right now in human history.
You know, but it's not just young people. I mean, we're seeing a builder survey where 57% of Americans cannot afford a $300,000 house. So is buying a home still a cornerstone of building wealth in this economy?
Yeah, again, that's simply, that data on that piece of research needs to be looked at because we're not seeing that. The median house price in America today is $448,000 right now. Now, median also includes, of course, Manhattan, where you are. It includes L.A., which are two of the most expensive real estate markets in the entire world. If you go to Abilene, Texas, or you go to Paducah, Kentucky, you can buy a house. People are buying houses everywhere, every day. I had two 32-year-olds and 34-year-olds on our show last week screaming, I'm debt-free, having paid off their $250,000 home.
So you're saying suck it up, Buttercup, is pretty much the message I'm hearing from you.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying all of this is carrying on, that people are saying this is true and it's all coming to an end. I'm meeting an entire group of Gen Zs who believe everything is possible. They grew up with this thing in their hand. They grew up with an abundance mentality. And so this is two of the best generations we've ever had. And I don't want anyone to tell them they can't win.
So you're saying embrace the modernization, but do it in a smart way where you can plan for your future.
Exactly. And don't let these banks and Congress's student loan debacle make you a victim and get screwed by these people. I mean, when you sign up for a F-150 at $80,000 and you make $70,000 a year, well, you just gave up your ability to buy a house because you got a $1,400 car payment. This is simple math and disposable income. It's Econ 101. So it's very possible out there. I just can't stand it when people steal these generations' hope.
And don't listen to the communists. Dave Ramsey, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, so young people, you know, they got to learn, but young people, they out here whining, crying about, you know, ain't no jobs out there, and I do think AI is a problem. I wish AI. I don't know. Maybe in the future I will understand it better to see if it's actually something that should be invested in. But right now, I just think it's just taking jobs and hogging up resources, and it's a big scam to get borrowed money out the bank, and then you know what I'm saying? Take it from the American people. Okay, so what else is going on in America? Did Trump hold up? Did Trump make America great again or broke again? U.S. foreclosures up 14% in 2025. So I like that foreclosures number because it's a concrete number that goes across demographics. It's just homeowners, and foreclosures in his first year are up by almost 15%. So if we grading him on that, that's a negative that's increasing. Foreclosures increase almost 15% up on the Trump. So we're going to say he is making America broke again when it comes to foreclosures. Home foreclosures across America were on the rise in 2025, increasing by 14% from 2024. See, in 2024, Biden was in there. But maybe that's the price of getting all of them black women up out of the DEI and stuff. I don't know. With Florida experiencing the highest numbers in the nation. Now, I know Florida has some unique issues. In his January 15th report, property data and analytics provider Adam said that 367,460 U.S. properties were involved with default notices, scheduled auctions, and or bank repossessions last year. My house price done went down. Those properties represented 0.26% of all housing units, a slight uptick from 0.23% in 2024, but down from 0.36% in 2019, which I think was Trump before. Like he was in there in 2019, I think. While the amount of the annual foreclosures were also down by 25% in 2019, the fourth quarter alone saw a total of 111,692 properties with foreclosure filings, up by 10% from the previous quarter and 32% from the fourth quarter of 2024. Nationwide, 1 in 1,274 properties was involved in a foreclosure filing in the fourth quarter of 2025. Florida led in foreclosure filings last year, 1 in 230 housing units, followed by Delaware, 1 in 240. South Carolina, 1 in 242, in Illinois and Nevada, 1 in 284. See what I'm saying? So let's see. That's why I'm like, yo, you see these foreclosures? That means you can't afford to pay, right? Foreclosure activity increased in 2025, reflecting a continued normalization of the housing market following several years of historically low levels. Adams CEO Rob Barber said in the report, while filings, starts, and repossessions all rose compared to 2024, foreclosure activity remains well below pre-pandemic norms and a fraction of what we saw during the last housing crisis. Barber added that the data indicates the recent surge in foreclosures is being driven more by market recalibration than homeowner distress. I'm not sure I understand exactly what he means by that. Running out the top 10 states with the highest foreclosure rates in 2025 were New Jersey, 1 in 273 units, Indiana, 1 in 302, Ohio, 1 in 307, Texas, 1 in 319, and Maryland, 1 in 326. In December 2025 alone, 1 in 3,163 properties nationwide have a foreclosure filing, with New Jersey leading the pack for the highest foreclosure rates. Foreclosures going up, y'all. I mean, he was talking about 50-year mortgages, and now he's talking about being able to take your 401k and use it as a down payment on your house. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel it's like he know everybody's broke, so he's just trying to do anything he can to make these broke people be able to buy a house. So I know you ain't got no money in the bank, you ain't making no money, but you've been stacking that 401k for the last 15 years. We'll let you use that to put it on the house. But now your retirement plan done went to your house. So now you got a house and you ain't got no retirement. So I don't know the long-term effects of that. I'm not an economist. Then, well, these mortgages are too high, so let's just stretch it out. We go from 30 to 50 years, the 50-year mortgage. So now if you buy a house when you're 25, you'll pay it off when you're 75. That don't sound that appealing. And then all you're going to do is, like, if your mortgage was going to be $2,300, now it's going to be $2,100. But now you got to pay it for 20 more years. You know what I'm saying? So that shit don't seem too kosher neither. So right now, I'm going to have to go with, on this particular issue, Trump's making Americans and America broke again, not great again. Now, one thing that I think the president is doing to make America broke again is his behavior geopolitically. You know, if we look at I look at these simple things. Okay, now look at this. Which offended most of the nations on the earth. This right here.
Long walk to face the wrath of American justice for Nicolas Maduro and his wife Celia. Dressed in matching tan prison uniforms, they're led in handcuffs from a chopper, headed to their first court appearance, surrounded by heavily armed federal agents. It was an all-hands-on-deck operation getting the captured first couple of Venezuela from a detention center in Brooklyn to federal court in Manhattan. The early morning odyssey began with the Maduros loaded into an armored truck, then transferred to an SUV, then to a helicopter for the brief flight to Lower Manhattan. Another armored truck transported them to the federal courthouse for their arraignment. Security is intense. A ring of steel surrounds the courthouse, where protesters have gathered demanding Maduro be released.
Now, just think about this. He went and locked down. He went into their country. I mean, he was blockading them. He was shooting boats out the water, and still is, from their territory. He sent a bunch of warships and everything down there and was taking oil ships and just. Then he went in there and got the guy and put charges on him. He was drug dealing. Then as soon as they got him out of there, all they started talking about was oil. We're going to take the oil. We're going to make a deal with the oil. He had a big meeting with the American Oil Company. Go back in there and get that oil. But you charged him, said he was a narco terrorist. You went into a sovereign country, took the leader, captured the leader and his wife. I'm like, why you got his wife? Captured the leader and wife, put them both on trial. I'm like, okay, why you putting his wife on trial? Unless she's a politically, I don't know what's the politics of Venezuela. And you call this man a criminal. But the man standing right next to you is the biggest crook in the world, and you defending him. The biggest crook in the world is your best friend.
International Criminal Court issuing arrest warrants for Israel's prime minister, his former defense minister, and the military chief of Hamas. Tonight, the International Criminal Court issuing arrest warrants for Israel's prime minister, his former defense minister, and the military chief of Hamas, charging them with crimes against humanity. Raf Sanchez joins us. Raf, what did the court say?
Lester, the court says there are reasonable grounds to believe that Netanyahu and his defense minister used starvation as a weapon of war by blocking humanitarian aid to Gaza. Netanyahu strongly denies that, saying the court's ruling undermines democracy's fight against terrorism, and both the White House and the incoming Trump administration united in condemning the decision. Netanyahu, though, a world leader now wanted for war crimes, and while he's unlikely to face imminent arrest, he could be arrested if he steps foot in any country that's a member of the court, including the UK, France, and Canada.
Okay, so Maduro, he don't have no ICC arrest warrant for no type of crimes. Now, and he's not on no charges in his own country. But the guy you standing next to and doing the most for, not only does he have an international criminal court case against him, he's on trial for corruption in his own country, Israel. So you go to Maduro's country and snatch him up, and you go to Bibi's country and...
I have an idea. Mr. President, why don't you give him a pardon? Give him a pardon. Come on.
So this guy right here, the people in his own country want to throw him in jail. And the international criminal courts want to throw him in jail. He has charges and warrants and all kind of stuff in his own country and in the international criminal courts.
Meanwhile, to face the wrath of America.
This guy don't have no international criminal charges, nor does he have any criminal charges or corruption charges in his own country. And you bringing him and locking him up. Now, the things that Trump people see him doing, the things that the world leaders and countries of the world sees him doing, is they're reacting to it. Now, you go capture Maduro, a sovereign leader of a sovereign nation. Now you telling Greenland, hey, in all of Europe, we taking that. We could do this the easy way or we can do it the hard way. And according to what people say, I don't think it's going to happen, but a lot of people think it's going to happen. You going back in there in Iran and blowing them out the frame for that guy, for this guy right here on your screen. The Americans don't want you in Iran. The Iranians don't want you in Iran. The other Gulf states don't want you in Iran. Europe don't want you blowing up Iran. Nobody wants you blowing up Iran. China don't want it. Russia don't want it. But that guy wants it. He's the biggest crook in the world. And you want to do that for him.
By the way, that was not in the speech, as you probably know. But I happen to like this gentleman right over here.
He likes this guy who got an international criminal court warrant against him and who got a corruption charges against him in his own country, who they want to throw him in jail. You're over there in his country begging his government to give him a pardon while you lock up the other man who ain't got no charges on him. And you just said, oh, well, you're a narco terrorist. And then as soon as you lock them up, say, hey, we taking the oil. Now you going to Greenland, threatening to take their land, threatening Europe. And now they have what's called the Sell America trade. So the Sell America trade is they want nations and foreign institutions to dump U.S. assets, dump the U.S. stock market, dump U.S. treasuries. So the impact of that is a weaker U.S. dollar. The impact of that is more inflation for Americans who use the U.S. dollar. And also gold and stuff going crazy. All-time record highs. Gold just broke 5,000 today, tonight. Helps me, but it don't help most people because most people don't have gold or silver. Most people just don't have it. So is that making America great or broke? Well, the vast majority of people savings and everything is in the US dollar. So it's making them broke. AI, you're getting people to invest trillions of dollars in AI infrastructure in the United States. It's going to take away jobs. That's going to make people broke. You're getting your revenge on the black woman. I understand that, but you're making people broke. Who's getting rich? The oligarchs, the tech guys, the defense contractors, the few and the well-connected are being made great. The vast majority of Americans are being made broke again. Let's talk about some measurables. And by the way,
when you look at what Lord Hybrid is saying, he's right about all that, really.
In case you didn't know. So you're protecting the criminals and the people that got arrest warrants in multiple jurisdictions, including international criminal courts and their own jurisdictions, and you're locking up people and capturing them out their sovereign nations for labels that you put on them, calling them narco terrorists. Look, as much drugs that moves around the United States, can somebody come over here and lock the president up and say, well, all them drugs that's moving around in the United States, you're responsible over it. And we're going to take you to China and put you in jail and perp walk your ass. So how do we know Maduro is responsible? Where's the evidence? I haven't seen any that he's involved in narco trafficking as head of state. But anyway, measurables. We're going to compare USD to other major currencies. This is the United States dollar compared to the Chinese yuan currency. So the US dollar is going down compared to the Chinese yuan. right? By the way, China won the tariff war. China has a record $1.2 trillion surplus, even more than before Trump launched the tariff war. Their surplus is up at all times high. And so is our debt. So this is the United States dollar compared to the Chinese currency. This is the United, and this is over. I think that's over what? How long is that? That's 5 days. Let it play on out. That's United States. That's the dollar compared to the Chinese yuan over 1 month. That's the US dollar compared to the Chinese yuan over 6 months. And that's 1 year. You know what I'm saying? So it's down. So where it used to be a year ago, it used to take 7.3 of Chinese yuans to make $1. Now it only takes 7. You know what I'm saying? So we losing a little bit of ground on that. But as you see, from all the different time parameters, we down. We down. Let's look at the Russian ruble compared to the United States dollar compared to the Russian ruble. Let's see how that's doing since we had war with them, or proxy war, whatever the hell they calling it. That's 5 days. Still down. One month down. It used to take almost 80. Now it's like 78. Not a big difference, but that's only 1 month. 6 months. Almost sideways, but still down a little bit. 1 year down. And this 1 year is significant because Trump's been the president for 1 year. So 1 year ago, it took 100 rubles to the dollar. Now it's only 80 rubles to the dollar. That's a 20% decline versus the ruble. So all of these are I'm presenting these because they're measurables. So we're down versus the yuan, we're down versus the damn ruble. So are we getting made richer or poorer, greater or broker? Let's look at the Mexican peso. Down 5 days. Down for 1 month, going from 18 to 1760. Not terrible, but down. 6 months, down from what? 18.5 down to 18, down to 17 point something, down. What about a year? Down. A year ago, it took almost 21 Mexican pesos to the dollar. That's down to 18. That's significant. So by measurable metrics, that means if you go to these countries spending your dollars, you're going to get that percentage amount less buying power for your dollar. So if we take away all the bluster and all the blabbing from Trump and stop listening to him and start measuring measurable things, he's not making America greater. Let's look at his buddy's money. This is the Israeli shekel. compared to the USD compared to the Israeli new shekel. What is that? Okay, so we up, but that's for 5 days. For 1 month, we down from 3.2 to 3.17. 6 months, we down. It used to take 3.35 shekels to make $1. Now it takes less than 3.2. Let's go for a year. We're down. So he's not performing, unfortunately, but he does want a weaker dollar because he thinks a weaker dollar will boost our exports. And he might be right. But if we're just looking at retaining the value of our currencies, he's losing against major currencies. He's losing. He's not winning against anybody. Now, let's look at the true global currency, the true reserve currency, the new reserve currency, which is the original and only reserve currency, gold. How is the US dollar performing against gold? And this is really going to tell you the answer. You already know the answer to this. Way down. Hold up. And that's 1 day. This chart is 1 day. Down 4%. So in 1 day, we was down 3%, 3.2%. In 1 week, we was down 4.18%. In 1 month, we're down 9%. 1 month. In 1 year, the dollar is down 44% or 45% against gold. And that's the real, that's why everybody's dumping treasuries and buying gold. That's why all of the central banks and the government agencies are around the world, the foreigners are dumping US treasuries, they're dumping dollars and buying gold, because look at the performance of the dollar. Look at it. You want to hold that? I don't want to hold that. I'm doing the same thing the bank's doing. I'm dumping. So, is the president making America great again? I don't think so.
Come on, man.
Now, there's another thing. In reference to Iran. Now, everybody was thinking, you know, I don't think Trump wants to invade Iran again. Now, they're saying he might do a blockade of Iran so they can't do no oil exports or whatever, but I think maybe he's gonna do that and wait for them to hit him first, then go in. I don't know. But I know Israel wants him to attack Iran. So I think he was supposed to do it like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And he didn't do it. I think he finally told Netanyahu, no, this is my speculation. I don't know if this is correct. But I know Israel wanted a second attack. And for what I understood, Trump said no. So it wasn't really reported in the media, but there was a earthquake in Israel probably about 2 weeks ago, 2 to 3 weeks ago. It only lasted like 1.5 seconds. And it happened right after Trump said, no, we ain't going back in Iran. And what many people suspect was they let off a nuke. They did an underground, like basically Netanyahu got mad and went back home and stomped his feet. Basically, he did a underground nuclear test because there was no aftershocks. There was just one rumble. So they think he did a nuclear test to say, Trump, if you don't go in there, we gonna nuke these niggas. And I just don't think Trump wants to do that because he has other allies in the region. He has Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, Egypt. We have other allies in the area, and Iran is a major country. Iran has got 90 million people. It has advanced military, and it has a large military, and they had the capabilities to make us take losses. They got hypersonic missiles. And then right before that weekend, when they wanted us to bomb Iran, this happened. Now, 16 Chinese military cargo planes loaded with anti-ship, anti-aircraft, anti-air naval arsenals landed in Iran. Iranian IRGC preparing strikes on U.S. bases and aircraft carriers, CENTCOM, and Israeli airports. So they've never seen this many Chinese military planes. See, China has an interest in Iran because Iran supplies them with a significant portion of their oil. So now, just like we armed Iran and we armed Israel, China started arming Iran. I mean, just like we armed Ukraine and we armed Israel, China started arming Iran. We don't know what they gave them. They saying all these anti-ship, but maybe they gave them a nuke. But they gave them some stuff that can be used to sink, because Iran didn't back down this time. It was like, if you hit us, we're going to sink some American ships. We're going to hit American bases, and we're going to hit Israel. And within a short window of time, 16 big old huge Chinese military cargo planes went and dropped off something in Iran. So now, I think this is like the first time Trump had to be like, yo, dude, no. So he went home and got mad and let off a nuke. You know what I mean? And try to pressure our country to do this. So I was saying this in the Telegram group where I be chatting with the homies and the crypto gems. Hold on. I was telling them I was telling them because one of the fellas had put in there, this message, the dollar is flipped for the first time in 30 years, and now it's not the biggest reserve gold is. And in the green at the bottom, my response was Trump and the government have done more to damage the dollar than just borrowing. Stealing Russia's reserves, they stole $320 billion from them, and wielding the tariff stick, as well as threatening sovereign countries and stealing land, Greenland, and kidnapping leaders. Russia's gold holdings have increased in value so much that they got back the value they lost by the U.S. stealing $320 billion of their treasury holdings from the price appreciation of their gold assets. Also, Russia's currency has appreciated relative to USD. Not only do foreigners see the dollar's risk with the excessive borrowing and spending, also sensibly, they do not want to finance this behavior of him running around kidnapping people and threatening to take people's land and shit. I would not lend a dude money who is threatening friends and kidnapping innocents. Nobody in the world wants an Iran war except Israel. If we attack Iran, the last little bit of faith I had in Trump as a sovereign leader will be gone. In that case, he is 100% a Mossad asset. Even though I agree with sensible tariffs, I hope the U.S. Supreme Court strikes down Trump's tariffs. I think the tariffs are good, but he needs to take an L and reach the limits of his power. He feels emboldened and thinks he has absolute power. He needs to take a few big L's and lose in the midterms to depower him before he does something catastrophic and irreversible. So those are the thoughts that I posted in the chat with the fellas. And that's how I really feel. They asked him, what are the limits to your power? And he said, there are none, only my thoughts and my morality. So basically say, but the Constitution doesn't say that. The Constitution has checks and balances to power. So there's three branches, there's three what they call three co-equal branches of government that checks each other's powers. So it's not only limited to his morality or his mind, it's limited by the Constitution. It's limited by the other branches of government, the other two branches of government. He's the executive branch. But there's two more co-equal, the legislative, which is the Congress, and the judicial, which are the courts. So the courts need to impose some limits on his power so that he could take a L, because if he doesn't, he might do something irreversible and catastrophic. That's my thoughts on that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to check that brother. He need to take an L.
Lord Hybrid is right.
So to answer the question, right now it's looking like the president is making America broke again. People are wanting to dump dollar in U.S. assets. So if they dump our stock market, then everybody's 401ks are going to go down. Your stock portfolio is going to go down, and our currency is going to go down. So his actions are making us broke again. And it has to be stated that that's the case, and I voted for Trump. And I don't want to be wrong in my vote, but he's making me, he's making me wrong. he's making me question his leadership. He's making me question his judgment. He went over there, Davos, talking about, they calling me daddy. They calling me daddy. I'm like, dude, what is you doing, bro? What is you doing? So I don't know, man. I want to believe in him. I mean, this is the thing that's going on right now. This is Sell America. US dollar treasury prices tumble and gold spikes as globe flees US assets. Key points. Sell America trade is in full swing Tuesday morning. President Donald Trump's latest threats around Greenland pushed global investors to shift exposure away from US-centric investments. The US dollar index headed for its biggest decline since April. US bond prices tumbled, sending yields spiking. So, meaning, if our bond prices go down, then they have to offer more interest. So now our interest payments on our debt is going to increase because people are dumping. So now we have to offer more interest to incline them to invest with us. The Sell America trade is in full swing Tuesday morning after President Donald Trump and European leaders escalated tensions over Greenland. U.S. bond prices tumbled, sending yields spiking. The U.S. dollar index, which weighs the greenback against a basket of 6 foreign currencies, fell nearly 1%. The euro jumped 0.6% against the dollar. This is Sell America again, within a much broader global risk, a global risk off. Krishna Guha, head of global policy and central banking strategy at Evercore ISI, wrote in a note to clients. So he's telling his clients, look at the US dollar index. See, I like to look at these measurables because then I don't have to take how I feel. Measurables say he's making America broke again. The drop in the US dollar index was the largest since Trump's so-called Liberation Day rollout of sharply higher tariffs in April, many of which were subsequently pared back. International markets continued to slide Tuesday after starting to retreat on Monday, when U.S. markets were closed for the Martin Luther King Jr. Day holiday. Trump's latest threats to tariff French wine and other imported goods rattled investors who feared the U.S. would no longer act as an unwavering commercial ally of Europe. The pan-European stock 600 extended its recent decline following Asian markets into the red. So I think that our president, he's willing to stick too much. He's flexing too hard. He's being too aggressive. You know what I'm saying? So shout out my man Eagle Eye. He's being too aggressive. You know what I mean? And he's making us broke again. That's what I think. Let's see. Global markets on alert as Europe to suspend approval of U.S. trade deal, which I thought was a done deal till they said they was going to suspend the approval. This is January 26th. excuse me. The European Parliament is planning to suspend approval of the U.S. trade deal agreed in July, according to sources close to its International Trade Committee. The suspension is set to be announced in Strasbourg, France on Wednesday. The move would mark another escalation in tensions between the U.S. and Europe as Donald Trump ratchets up his efforts to acquire Greenland, threatening new tariffs over the issue on the weekend. The standoff has rattled financial markets, reviving talk of a trade war and the possibility of retaliation against the U.S. for its trade measures. Shares on both sides of the Atlantic were lower on Tuesday, with European stock markets seeing a second day of losses. In the U.S., the Dow Jones slid more than 1.7%, while the S&P 500 dropped more than 2%, and the NASDAQ closed about 2.4% lower. Stock markets in the Asia-Pacific region were mixed on Wednesday, with major indexes in Japan and Australia a little lower, while shares of Hong Kong and mainland China were higher. The price of gold continued to make gains and rose above $4,800 an ounce for the first time. The price of silver dipped from a record high above $94 an ounce. Now let's look at the current prices, because gold and silver tells you what the dollar's doing. Currently, gold, so that was on the 20th. That was 5 days ago. At that time, it was $4,800. Gold is right now $5,077. How much was silver? Silver was $94 an ounce. Now silver is $107 an ounce. So when I went in and bought my silver, it wasn't even a month ago. This show you how weak the dollar is getting, and how much, like, some of the stuff, the information I'm taking in, they're saying that the price of precious metal, gold and silver, is not just a bull market in gold and silver. It is a restructuring and a realignment of money, the monetary system itself, with people like institutions, governments, things like that, sovereign wealth funds, now not seeing U.S. treasuries, i.e. the U.S. dollar, as a safe place to be. They see gold as a safe place to be, silver as a safe place to be, and it's spilling over into retail, meaning regular people, people like me, people like you. People are starting to see that the U.S. dollar ain't the place to be. Is that because of Trump? I think it has a lot to do with him. Bitcoin's down to 87,550. So Bitcoin and crypto's cratering. But let me see. So the price of gold continued to make gains as it rose above 4,800. Damn, it's up over $200 in 5 days. And an ounce for the first and $94 silver. Precious metals are seen as safer assets to hold in times of uncertainty. So he's creating uncertainty. And the prices of both gold and silver have soared over the past year. He's been president for the past year. He's created a lot of uncertainty in the world. Not saying I disagree with everything he's done, because I don't disagree with everything he's done. On the currency market, the U.S. dollar has held steady against its major peers, having dropped 0.5% overnight, the biggest daily fall since early December. Trade tensions between the U.S. and Europe had eased since the two sides struck a deal at Trump's Turnberry golf course in Scotland in July. That agreement sent U.S. levies on most European goods at 15%, down from the 30% Trump had initially threatened as a part of his Liberation Day wave of tariffs in April. In exchange, Europe had agreed to invest in the U.S. and make changes on the continent expected to boost U.S. exports. The deal still needs approval from the European Parliament to become official. But on Saturday, within hours of Trump's threat of U.S. tariffs over Greenland, Manfred Weber, an influential German member of European Parliament, said approval is not possible at this stage. So now the trade deal that he negotiated with Europe seems at risk. And Bernd Lang, who chairs the European Parliament's Committee on International Trade, said there was no alternative but to suspend the deal because of the threats over Greenland. And the thing with Greenland is we already got military bases there. It's a huge place. It's a huge place, mostly covered in ice. It's less than 100,000 people. There's less than 60,000 people that live there. And we already got military bases. So if it was, he's saying, well, his justification is if we don't take it, somebody else going to take it. Russia and China been up there. If they wanted to take it, they would have done took it. They haven't even thought about taking Greenland. So that's bullshit. Then the fact that we have to own it in order to be strategically safe is bullshit too, because I'm sure if we went up to Greenland and we told the Greenland people, the Greenlanders, and asked them to let us put, we want to do this and that, let us build, give us a little space to build some more military bases, they would have been like, cool. So he could put all the military hardware up there he wanted. He could have got a good deal from the Greenlanders, but he's talking about taking it and owning it and making them like Puerto Rico in the Arctic, something we own. They don't want that. And plus, I think the Danish or one of them other European countries already owns them. So how we just gonna take them? So I don't think that that's a good idea, or I don't believe his reasoning. I don't know what his true reasoning is, but what he's saying doesn't make sense, and I don't believe him. And now it puts in a very important deal with the Europeans in jeopardy, which is helping lead us to the Sell America trade, which is spiking gold prices, which benefits people who own those assets or those commodities. But for the most person that uses the US dollar, it doesn't benefit them. So is he making the vast majority of people great or broke? Our currency is down. Our reputation is down. He's being bullied and controlled by a guy who wants him to go fight wars that nobody in the world, including no Americans, wants him to fight. With foreclosures are up. Everybody screaming they can't get no job. Is he making us great? I mean, the ICE out here just shooting Americans and killing them. Protests all over the goddamn place. And let me tell you something, man. Well, what they did in Iran. Now, those protests, thousands of people got killed in those Iranian protests. Now, one thing you can know about the American government is they do a lot of stuff overseas and then they start doing it here. So from what I understand, based on things that I've heard allegedly, I don't know if this is actually the truth, but from what some people are saying, that those protests was involved with, and what the Iranians are saying, the CIA and the Mossad. So they had people that was trained embedded in. So like that's why I would never go to a protest. But it was people embedded with the normal protests because of our financial warfare against Iran. Yes, their currency has been damaged and they had high inflation, and there was a lot of problems over there. So people were protesting to the leadership. So they created the conditions for the people to protest, and then amongst them they implanted Mossad and CIA agents who were killing people, setting buildings on fire. So they're starting to do that overseas. You think they won't do that here? They'll do it here. They'll do it here. You be out there thinking you're going to BLM, F the police, F the police. You don't know the Mossad and the goddamn CIA out there. They start shooting and killing motherfuckers. They did it with the January 6th. You find out it was a bunch of federal agents out there telling them, come on and go in the building. The feds put people out there to corral people to go in and then lock them up. So now in Iran, they out there, they provided them with guns and stuff like that and told them to go kill the cops and set government buildings and mosques and things like that on fire. And they was doing it. So all this bullshit they do overseas, they'll do it here. So probably next year, 2 years from now, or before an election, or they want some rabble rousing, they want some chaos and some destruction and some bullshit going on. Yeah, they'll plant some motherfuckers in the crowds with the regular protesters. They'll be killing cops and they'll be burning down buildings and they'll be doing all kind of bullshit. And your stupid ass will be out there marching and don't know what the fuck going on and be done got involved with some big shit and be ended up in prison like those goddamn January the 6th protesters were. Motherfuckers be getting killed and it'd be chaos. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, where was I? By threatening the territorial integrity and sovereignty of an EU member state and by using tariffs as a coercive instrument, the U.S. undermines the stability and predictability of EU-U.S. trade relations, said Lane, whose committee needs to sign off on the deal before it has the parliament for a final vote. So now trade deals are being fucked up by his behavior. There's no alternative but to suspend the work on the two Turnberry legislative proposals until the U.S. decides to re-engage on a path of cooperation rather than confrontation, and before any further steps are taken. And that's what he's doing. It's a lot of confrontation. You're going and capturing Maduro. You're bombing Iran. Then you get mad. He wrote some crazy ass letter to the people over there talking about, I wouldn't have did this shit if y'all had gave me the peace prize. I'm like, my nigga, you didn't win the fucking prize. So you doing all this bullshit because they ain't give you the prize? What, you mad because Obama got it and you didn't get it, nigga? What the fuck's going on? Are you crazy? So you kidnap or fucking capture this man, take his fucking oil. You done bombed Iran. They ain't did shit to us because Bibi told you to do it. Now Bibi wants you to go back in there and do it bigger and better and get rid of the motherfuckers that's running shit. That ain't got shit to do with us, but you do what he say. Now you threatening to take a European protectorate, a NATO member, and saying we could do this the hard way, or we could do this the easy way, or we could do this the hard way. Sounding like motherfucking Fleece Johnson in the prison, talking to them young boys, you finna take their booty. Now you going over to Davos and telling them you they daddy. You threatening tariffs at everybody. And everybody in the world is like, you see this motherfucker? And people turning away. It's gonna hurt us. So is you making us great again, or is you making us broke again? I mean, maybe look, they say Trump be playing 3D chess. Maybe Trump doing some shit that's next level. Maybe Trump is doing some shit that I don't understand. That might be some brilliant shit, and that might be a possibility. But from what I see and the measurable results of what I see, you making America broke again, my nigga. We got to do better. So anyway, let's get back to where we was at. Trade tension. It's not possible. The decision opens up questions whether the EU will move forward with threats to retaliate against the US. The bloc had announced a possible 93 billion euros, $109 billion, and 81 billion, I guess, pounds. I don't know what the fuck that is. Worth of American goods that could be hit with levels last year in response to Trump's Liberation Day tariffs before putting the plan on hold while the two sides finalize details of a deal. But that reprieve ends on the 6th of February, meaning the EU levies will come into force on the 7th of February unless the bloc moves for an extension or approves the new deal. French President Emmanuel Macron, who's married to a man, is among those urging the EU to consider its retaliatory options, including the anti-coercion instrument nicknamed a trade bazooka. Washington's endless accumulation of new tariffs is fundamentally unacceptable, even more so when they are used as leverage against territorial sovereignty, he said in a speech at the World Economic Forum in Davos. American response. Also speaking in Davos, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent reiterated his warning to European leaders against retaliation, urging them to have an open mind. I tell everybody, sit back, take a deep breath. Do not retaliate. The president will be here tomorrow, and he will get his message across, he said. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer warned that the U.S. would not let retaliation go without a response. Everything is a threat with these guys. So Scott Bessent, who's also married to a man, but at least he's a man who represents himself as a man, told him, look, hey, don't retaliate. Do not retaliate. Then the other dude get up there and say, look, if y'all retaliate, don't think we won't retaliate back on you motherfuckers. And we bigger and badder than all you motherfuckers. So when we retaliate, hey, get in line, Europe. Get your fucking asses in line. This is how he's conducting diplomacy. And hey, I'm not a diplomat or a politician or expert in global economics or global politics, geopolitics. I don't know. But with my basic limited understanding, I just don't see how this is the best way to be conducting ourselves and talking with other powerful people. You know, they got egos too. They got militaries too. And a lot of them got nukes too. So we'll see. What I found is that when countries follow my advice, they tend to do okay. When they don't, crazy things happen. Oh my God, crazy. Why we got to use that word? They already think this nigga crazy. Talking about Trump. And remarks reported by the Alliance. I can't even read that right there. Oh, by the agency France Press, so the French press. The U.S. has previously expressed impatience with European progress toward approval of the deal, amid ongoing disagreements over tech and metals tariffs. The U.S. and the 27-nation European Union are each other's single biggest trade partners, with more than 1.6 trillion euros, 1.9 trillion dollars, 1.4 trillion pounds in goods and services exchanged in 2024. According to European figures, that represents nearly a third of all global trade. That's massive. When Trump started announcing tariffs last year, it prompted threats of retaliation from many political leaders, including in Europe. In the end, however, many opted to negotiate instead. Only China and Canada stuck by their threats to hit American goods with tariffs, which Canada quietly withdrawing most of these measures in September. Trump punked them, and concerned they were damaging the Canadian economy. In a speech in Davos on Tuesday, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney urged middle powers to unite and push back against the might makes right world of great power rivalry that he warned was emerging. When we only negotiate bilaterally with a hegemon, we negotiate from weakness. We accept what is offered. We compete with each other to be the most accommodating, he warned. This is not sovereignty. It is the performance of sovereignty while accepting subordination. He's speaking some hardcore shit. Looming in the background of the trade tensions is a pending Supreme Court decision over whether many of the tariffs Trump announced last year are legal. That's why I said I hope that Trump loses the tariff battle. Because in his mind, I just think he feels that he has absolute power. And to feel that powerful is dangerous. It's dangerous for us as Americans, and it's dangerous for the world. For one person to just feel, I have absolute power over the globe because I got the biggest military, the best military, the most bombs. I can fight 8 wars at the same time. I can make you do something. And after a while, every bully gets walloped. The bully might go around taking lunch money and giving wedgies and kicking people in the butt. And all the little people might just get together one time and say, yo, man, only way we gonna fuck this nigga up is together. And is many different forms of warfare that can be waged. Like I said, the Sell America trade. They could just dump all the treasuries, dump all the American stocks. That's gonna hurt. They can put up trade barriers, and we can't sell, agricultural products and durable goods and whatever else. They can block our tech companies. Yo, if they really if the rest of the world really gets together and say, we tired of this nigga, they can do something about it. They can do something big about it. And most empires fall when they overextend themselves. We are by far overextended. And something's gonna happen if we don't stop. So I would rather us check Trump than the world check Trump. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of hoping the Supreme Court strike them tariffs down just to give him one less stick that he has. So anyway, he's making us broke again, man. Not great, broke. But like I said, this is just based on what I see with my limited understanding it, and I'm not a politician. I'm not an economist, and I'm not an expert. So they say trust the experts. Well, I ain't no expert, so don't trust me. I'm just a man on the internet giving my opinion, and right now I just feel like, yo, you wilding, big homie. You wilding. You're creating a lot of enemies. You know what I mean? So, this is what we was in the crypto gems. I took this little screenshot. So I was posting, and damn, this on the 20th. So this was when gold was under 5,000. Now it's over. And when silver was under $100, now it's over. I said metals are still strong. Hold up. Metals are still strong. I can't hardly see this shit. The Eagles I bought at $80 an ounce. Those are the silver Eagles. Which was actually $76 an ounce plus a $4 premium. Seem cheap now. I bought those on December the 30th. So I'm less than a month ago. I paid $80, and now they're worth like $6 or whatever they are. I think silver's going to $350 an ounce. I think everybody should be buying silver. I think if you have crypto, you should dump crypto and buy silver. Or if you got a lot of crypto, lots of money, dump that. Because I think everybody should have at least, I know it's impossible, but people in the know and people with a little bit of money, you should have at least 10 ounces of gold and as much silver as you can buy. If you got a decent amount of money, like money in the bank, and you're making a decent amount of money, you should set a goal to get 10 ounces of gold and 100 or more, even more than that, ounces of silver. But if you get 10 ounces of gold, that's a nice little, you know what I mean? That's a nice little 50,000 in the bank. Oh, and I was talking about those dudes, Craig, that stole my 10 Bitcoin, motherfuckers. I just shared that link because I was like, it says they were all in jail. So I was kind of happy about that. What else did I say on here? Oh, and I was sharing that information. So this is the info. This is the info on the guys that stole my crypto. The big dog was named Dan Shat. That's his federal prison information. That's his name. That's his age. That's where he's at. And look at that big mansion he's living in at the bottom. Ain't that pretty? I said, this is Dan Shat's home until 2029. There's no place like home. And then I said, changing the subject, they keep pumping and dumping because I know they pumped BTC and then they dumped it over, you know what I mean? So over the last probably 2 weeks, it was a big pump and dump on BTC. And I don't believe in BTC because the people who own it and control it, I don't trust them. The people who hold in the most of it. And so then the conversation was, they said, but eventually they won't be able to stop shit. And short term, that's getting effed. Long term holders won't even notice. BTC bound to take off again eventually. And my response was, I think long term it may go up. I just did not see enough of a variety of holders. Bankers and MicroStrategy. Where's retail and government? So far, only El Salvador as far as government. And I hear no big news about retail inflows. Retail is buying metals, and so are governments and central banks and sovereign wealth funds. Then I was like, it's cool to be able to say I was right and you should have listened to me, but this is actually scary. It has been less than 24 hours since this last post, and gold is up by $133.69. Gold does not behave like this. Japanese bonds are crashing. The U.S. stock market crashed. Crypto crashed. And gold went crazy, even outpacing silver. and gold has a much higher market cap. Lots of people are scared and uncertain, and they are flocking to gold. This signals panic. And then I put the price up there again. And what did that say? I can't read that last one. Because of the thing that's on the screen, I can't really read it. But anyway, when it comes to crypto and precious metals, and as much as I love crypto, I don't have any faith in crypto. I would not be purchasing crypto. Won't say never. And right now I'm about to, like, I hit my goals for my gold and my silver in terms of my stack. I'm still gonna probably keep buying some more silver, and I'll probably be buying silver. I was telling the fellas that from a speculative play, from what I've been reading from what I've been like information I've been collecting from very knowledgeable sources in terms of metals, good speculative plays are platinum and copper. I think gold has gotten so expensive that it's more of a rich man's metal, and the average person, like if 1 ounce costs like over $5,000. Like if I want to go, I'm gonna go on AppMex right now. So right now, the last live gold price is $5,086.21 per ounce. Okay. Most people can't afford to buy an ounce of gold. So I'm gonna go to AppMex right now. So for me to buy an ounce of gold, let's say I want a gold buffalo for the United States Mint. One ounce gold buffalo. You're gonna pay $5,469 for one coin, for one 1 ounce coin. You know what I'm saying? I've never paid that much for no damn. You know what I'm saying? Like the last ones I bought, I didn't pay that much for them. I can't remember how much I paid. Hold up. Let me see. I can show you how much I paid. But I think it's gotten to the point to where like the average person can't afford gold no more. Because to me, if you ain't buying at least an ounce, what is you doing? You know what I'm saying? Not saying there's nothing wrong with buying fractional, buying like a 1/10 of an ounce or a 1/2 ounce. But even a 1/2 ounce gonna be crazy. You know what I'm saying? Most people just can't do it. And I know when I was just a regular schmuck working a job, I couldn't cough up $5,500 for one coin. You know what I'm saying? And then most of them don't really understand it. So I think for the average middle class working person, if I go to the American Eagles, American Silver Eagle, you can get that for $121. Most people can afford that. So you might could start, if you could save up $300 a month or $500 a month or $1,000 a month or $1,200, whatever, you can start stacking up some silver. But it's gonna be way fucking hard to stack gold unless you have an extremely high income. It's hard for me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I usually buy the last amount of ounces I bought, I was cashing out my crypto, so I had a large amount, like 6 figures worth of gold, so I could buy. But I used to just go in there and just snatch up like 10 ounces. When they was like 1,600, when they was 2,500, I could go in there with 25,000 as a upper income person. But shit, getting that fucking scraping up 50,000. I mean, even I gotta think about that, man. You know what I'm saying? That's 50,000. That's 50-something thousand I gotta come up with just to get my normal 10 ounces. Well, I used to just go up in there with 25,000. 25,000 is much easier than 50-something thousand. You know what I'm saying? So the way I'm telling the fellas is, What I'm telling the fellas is platinum, an ounce of, well, let me see what the platinum, what's the platinum cost? The platinum cost, the live price. Do they have it out here? They ain't even got it on this thing. On the commodity index. But I think it's like 2,700. It's like what gold used to be. But platinum is more rare than gold, and platinum usually costs more than gold, dollar-wise. So platinum is like half gold. So a lot of people say platinum is a good thing to buy right now because it should cost more than gold. And they're also saying the poor man's metal is copper, because you could get a big clunk of copper for like $7, like a kilo or something like that. I think homeboy put that in the chat. The homeboy put it in the chat. What did he put in there? Something about a trapezoid joint. He deleted it. No, a trapezoid. Yeah, a kilo bar. You can get a kilo bar of you can get a kilo bar for $78. You know what I'm saying? Of copper. And they make copper rounds, like official bullion rounds of copper. So you can buy them. So you know what I'm saying? So somebody that's even like if you make a minimum wage or you make $15 an hour, and you maybe you can only save like $200 a month, get some copper. Cause for you, it's gonna perform better than gold and silver anyway, according to what some people believe. And then if you're making like decent money, like maybe you're making six figures, you might not can save $50,000 a month, but maybe you can save like $1,500 a month or $3,000 a month. Then get you some platinum and start stacking that, because that's gonna beat gold and silver. So the two, they say the speculative plays is copper for the poor man, and then if you got a little bit of money, you're doing your little thing, get some platinum, because it's supposed to cost more. Damn, platinum don't went up. Platinum $2,900, but it's supposed to go up more. It's supposed to go up more than gold and silver. But silver, most people can still afford to pay $100, $110, or whatever the premium is. If you go to a coin dealer, if silver is currently, damn, it's 108. That shit's going crazy. It's already up 5% tonight. Damn. But if you're gonna get some silver, go ahead and get the shit now, because it's 108. So you'll probably be paying 110, or if you go to a coin dealer, you might pay 112. And then by the time you wake up in the morning, it's probably gonna be 115. So you're probably gonna be paying 120, 125. But you can get that. You know what I'm saying? Get it while you can still get it, while it's still somewhat reasonable. Because I know it's gonna go to 200, and I think it's going to 350 an ounce. So while it's still 100, even though it don't went up a lot, it's still cheap. Get your ass some silver, nigga, and start stacking, bro. For real. You know what I'm saying? But let me see the last goal I bought. Let me see if I can find it. I think that's hybrid soul gold, silver, gold charts. Junk silver. Trying to see, can I find, because I can't even remember what I paid the last time I bought some gold. Here's another article, by the way, about the state of Americans. %92% of employed Americans with jobs have cut back on spending as standard of living in the U.S. crumbles. That's this year. This January, that's this month. January 13, 2026. So 92%, that's the overwhelmingly vast majority of Americans are cutting back, and our standards of living are crushing. So, Trump, are you making America great again, or are you making America broke again? Well, 92% of us have to cut spending. So we're going broke. 92% of us is cutting back. That means that if you're cutting back, that means there's a reduction in your standard of living. Yeah, Big Dog TV. Hey, look, I figured it out a little bit early. I dumped my crypto last February, almost a year ago now, and I bought gold, and that was a goddamn good move, bruh. That's game though. But anyway, 92% of us Americans are cutting back, and that's a goddamn shame. And look, you done had a year to do it, bruh. So you got to take the blame for that. You got to take the blame for that, Big Trump. You know what I mean? I got to hit him with that. So it says, let me see. It says the headline of this article is not a misprint. Wow. The reason why affordability has become the number one issue for U.S. voters is because most of the population is being absolutely crushed by a rising cost of living. That's on you, Trump. Just look at how much you are paying for electricity compared to 5 years ago. And just look at how much you are paying for food compared to 5 years ago. Housing costs have risen to absurd heights. Property taxes, my property taxes jumped like a motherfucker. And then people with mortgages, when your property taxes go up, your mortgage payment goes up. If your property tax take a nice jump, then they got to do that, I forgot what they call it, that escrow or whatever. But your damn payment going up. So you thought you was going to be paying $2,200 a month or $2,700 a month, and now your property taxes went up and they got to recalibrate your shit. Now your shit is, $3,100 a month. Property taxes have become absolutely insane in many areas of the country, and health insurance premiums have more than doubled. That's why I don't have health insurance. Yo, I'm gonna give you some game on that. For millions of Americans, it isn't just a coincidence that so many people are bitterly complaining about the cost of living these days. The truth is that most of the country is experiencing very real pain. And the government, guess what about them?
They don't give a fuck.
Now, this is what I probably done said it before, but I don't have health insurance. Can I afford it? Yes. Am I going to give these motherfuckers $1,700 a month for nothing? Absolutely no. And sometimes you got to make your stance in the ground. You got to plant your fucking flag and say, motherfucker, I'm not giving you all this money for nothing, nigga. You know what I'm saying? On my Lexus and on my Honda and about to be on my motherfucking G-Wagon, but not on my G-Wagon. But on my Lexus and my Honda, I got liability, bruh. I'm not paying for no full coverage when I ain't had a wreck and I don't, God knows how much. And if I do have a wreck, I got enough money to repair it. And if I do have a wreck and I don't even feel like repairing it, I got 3 cars. So if I wreck one of them, I drive the other 2. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not paying these niggas no $3,000 a year for some full coverage. And then when I do get in some shit, they ain't gonna want to pay, or they're gonna try to find a way to weasel their way out of it and then jack up my rates. Now on my G-Wagon, I do have full coverage, but I'm about to, when I buy new cars, I got a standard operating procedure. I give them niggas full coverage for 1 year. Next year, those niggas get liability. I'm not giving no bitch ass insurance company a whole bunch of goddamn money for nothing. Well, pay us because something might happen. Fuck you. I'm just going to drive like I got some sense. I don't drink and drive. I don't get high and drive. And I don't be out when everybody else is out. So I go in the house and hide on the weekends because that's when all the rest of these dumb niggas is driving. I don't go out on Friday night because where I live, everybody drunk on Friday night. So I don't be out. I be at the house on Friday night. And Saturday night, I be out in the daytime during Sunday through Thursday. That's when the civilized people be out. Sunday through Thursday in daytime hours. Nighttime, I go to fuck home. I avoid a lot of bullshit that way. And I drive like I got some goddamn sense. And when I see them stupid niggas in them Chargers or the other little piece of shit ass cars driving like they goddamn on the goddamn Autobahn somewhere or they in a race, I get the fuck out their way. I'm a bitch ass nigga on the road. Niggas start getting aggressive, get on my ass. Oh, big homie, let me get out your way. You is not getting me in no wreck. So I do a lot of things that I can do to reduce my risk, and I don't pay these niggas. Now, same thing with my health. I eat organic. I exercise, run. I got the fucking, and I'm gonna do a video on this, but I got basically a motherfucking health spa at my house. I got all kind of shit in this house for my health, and I got organic kale and shit. Goddamn farm grown, organic, free range eggs and organic meats and vegetables, asparagus. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing everything, the right kind of supplements and shit like that to keep me healthy. So I ain't got to pay these stupid niggas $1,700 a month for some health insurance that's going to give me some badass coverage. But what I do is my health care probably cost me about $300 a month. And I told my cousin the same shit. He did it. Now, because health insurance is so unaffordable and so ridiculous and so bad, they got what you call direct primary care. So in most places, you can go to a doctor's office that says you don't need no insurance. Just pay us $100 a month and you get all your checkups and labs and all that shit. So I got a direct primary care doctor's office, and I got an online practitioner where you can do doctors online. So basically at any time you can talk to a doctor. So if something wrong with you, yo, my side hurting, or this shit growing out my stomach, or some weird shit going on, you could talk to a doctor. They're fully licensed doctors. They can prescribe you medications, or if you need some more care, you can go to somewhere. And then when something happens, just pay out the pocket. Because look, you paying $17. I went to the Obama market, whatever the fuck, $1,700 for a basic plan. If I wanted some good health insurance, I was gonna be paying like $2,300 a month, right? So just imagine you paying $2,300 a month and you get nothing. Just imagine if you saving $2,300. You know what I'm saying? So if you even just saving $1,000 a month, that's $12,000. So if you double that, that's $24,000. So most things that you can get done, you can get it done for $24,000. So instead of giving it to insurance, keep it. Buy gold. Then your gold gonna keep going up. Then by the time you need something done, if it's something that you can't cure with a pill, or they can't tell you to, lower your sodium, stop drinking your sugar, and the shit go back, then you could sell some of your gold if you need some care. But don't give those niggas no $1,700 a month for some bullshit ass healthcare. Don't do that. Everybody's looking to scam. So if you don't have, it's all about risk. And remember, insurance is risk. So if you use your mind and you plan your risk accordingly, you don't have to pay them to assume your risk. You know, but everybody's keep beating over, hey, you need health insurance. You got to have health care because they call health insurance health care. Health insurance is not health care. Health insurance is a financial product. It's health insurance. It's just like they tell you a 401k is a retirement plan. No, it's a financial product. Just like health insurance is a financial product. You're not going to be able to retire because you have a 401k. You're going to be able to retire if you plan your financial life correctly and you make smart decisions. You know what I'm saying? So whether I need to get something fixed on my toe or I need a goddamn organ transplant, I got enough money to handle it. So I don't have to give them niggas my money and be scared of the risk that they're trying to make me scared of. But anyway, I can't stand these insurance companies, man. Those motherfuckers make me sick, bro. That's another option, Eagle Eye. And that's an excellent option for a lot of people. And I would consider it. If you need a surgery, just go overseas. Thailand is the 4th rated highest medical in the world, much higher than the U.S. Surgery in the U.S. that costs $100,000 costs $10,000 over there. That's excellent information, Eagle Eye. Salute. Because you got to understand that that's real. Like, why pay $100,000 when you can get a better medical professional and a medical everything in Thailand? Would I go to Thailand to save $90,000? I would, even at my level. Hell yeah, I would. Especially if they better. If I can get something better for 1/10 the price and save $90,000, put me on the motherfucking plane, bruh. Unless I'm too sick to travel. It's a lot of stuff you can do in Mexico. Girls do it all the time. They want fake butts. They go to Dominican Republic, Colombia, Mexico, and get fake butts. Now, if you need a real surgery, like if you got to get something removed or you need a specialized treatment, if you could go to like Asia and get the top-notch care for 1/10 of the price, get your monkey ass on the plane. Salute, Eagle Eye. That's very correct. So anyway, health insurance premiums have more than doubled. That's ridiculous. It isn't just a coincidence that so many people are bitterly complaining about the cost of living these days. The truth is that most of the country is experiencing very real pain. I'll be wondering, like, what would I do if I was a regular motherfucker? Like, God damn, I know it gotta be hard. Just to be the me that I was 13 years ago. Today. Because I was looking up for jobs because I was watching these people complain about their jobs and how they done put in for thousands of jobs. And I went out and looked for a job today. Just like, I wonder what it would be like. Like I said, I quit my job 12 years ago. I put in my job title, HRIS analyst, and my job title is now making a range in my city from $70,000 to $83,000 a year. That'd be kind of tough to live on at the moment. I mean, I know I'm out the loop. Maybe I'm in the bubble. I haven't had to live like a normal person in some, over a decade. So, but when I think about living off $80,000 a year, that's frightening to me. No more first class. No more vacations. House wouldn't be paid off. So I'd probably have rent. And these niggas be out here telling you, man, you young, don't buy no house, nigga. Go travel, do this, do that shit. Don't listen to these stupid niggas. It's because they old as hell and they don't own shit. Don't listen to them. Nigga, it's good to have a home base. Get you, if you can find a good foreclosure or something cheap and you can buy it and pay it off, maybe 10 years or whatever, you still, in your late 20s. And by the time you 35, you can have a paid off crib. It's good to have a home base. It's good. It's good. It's real good to have a home base. You can travel all you want. Just imagine how much better your life would be if you didn't have no rent, no mortgage. Then see, now me making $80,000 a year, if I didn't have to pay no rent or no mortgage, it'll be a little bit, you know what I'm saying? It'd be a little bit more manageable. But $80,000 a year with rent or with a sizable mortgage, that's a tight squeeze. That's a tight fucking squeeze. Like I said, hey, I ain't goddamn faking the funk. I done been a regular nigga. I know what it's like. I know, but it wasn't never hard for me to survive, especially as a single man with no children. But you got people with kids, people that's on child support, people with families. You know what I'm saying? And they making 70 grand with kids and a bitter, evil bitch that keep going to the goddamn courts. Now you got to pay lawyers and shit. Yo, that shit is hard. Today, especially. Eagle say, guys I work with are so broke. They're one blown engine or transmission away from financial ruin. Yeah, bro. Bro, I believe it. I believe it. It's hard being a regular nigga. Just imagine regular nigga with kids. And I don't know what's the average what's the median salary or an average salary in America? Let me see. Google. See what Google say. Median average income US. Yeah. Damn. So the average is 66,000. And the median is 62,000. Look, that's how much I was making when I quit my job. I was making like 67,000. You know what I'm saying? I was making 66.5. So this says the average is 66.6 in America. You know what I'm saying? Now, making 66,000, 67,000 13 years ago as a single man without any children. I didn't have a car note either. I had rent. Wasn't that bad. I could take a couple of vacations. I wasn't flying first class, but I was taking a vacation, an overseas vacation. You know, I could give some people some $100 for their birthday. You know, I had a little money saved up. I had a little 5Gs in the bank. That's what I used to buy the first crypto I bought. You know what I'm saying? But now, nigga, car insurance, even back then I was on liability. But I was driving a Kia, so I never put much value in cars back then. So I was like, well, if it ain't worth shit, why put full coverage on it? You know what I'm saying? Give me that liability. So everything was affordable. Food was affordable 13 years ago, 12 years ago. Now I'm making 60, 65 racks now, nigga. That's whoo shit. I mean, I get by, but it's rough, bruh. Eagles say they running on hope. Of course, it isn't an accident that this has happened. Our politicians have borrowed and spent $28 trillion that we did not have since Barack Obama first entered the White House in January 2009. And I warned that all of this money, spent 28. Oh, that's right. I warned that all of this money would create rampant inflation. So since Barack Obama, we've borrowed 28 trillion. So we at 38 trillion now. So the vast majority of that, 2/3 of that, was done since Obama. You know what I'm saying? So that means we was only in like debt of 10 trillion at the time of Obama. On top of that, the Federal Reserve has pumped trillions of dollars that were created out of thin air into the financial system since 2008. That has helped The stock market hit record highs, but it has been one of the factors that has made the cost of living unbearable for the rest of us. The very foolish decisions that our leaders have been making have had dramatic consequences. Our standard of living is crumbling right in front of our eyes. And now a brand new report is telling us that 92% of employed Americans have been forced to cut back on spending. And it's a shame because it hits the working man, it hits the regular man, it hits the everyday man. For millions of Americans, staying financially afloat now means difficult trade-offs as the price of everyday necessities continues to rise faster than wages. New data shows workers are cutting back wherever they can, often at the expense of savings. They can't save shit no more. Overall, financial security and even essential needs. You can't even get what you need no more, bro. That is the picture emerging from Resume Now's, what was that resume? 2026 Cost of Living Crunch Report, a national survey of 1,011 employed Americans, which has found that only 17% of Americans feel financially secure enough to cover essentials and save money. That's a damn shame. Less than 20% people feel that I can buy what I need and save a little bit. That means more than 80% of people, like, either I can get what I need, but I can't save shit, or I can't get what I need and I can't save shit. Nearly 2/3 of respondents cited everyday essential as their biggest financial burden. What's more, a remarkable 92% said they have to cut back on spending, including on items many would previously have considered non-negotiable. Please notice that only employed Americans were asked about the cost of living. Okay, so working people, most people got a job. For those that do not regularly follow my work, yes, that's an accurate number. The vast majority of U.S. adults that are not working are considered not in the labor force by the federal government. Another survey was conducted at the end of December, found that 70% of Americans consider the cost of living where they live to be not very affordable or not affordable at all. American consumers aren't feeling great about the economy or their own financial situation, with the phrase affordability crisis dominating headlines and political campaigns over the past few months. The majority, 70%, of Americans surveyed in a Marist poll of over 1,400 adults taken in December say that the cost of living in their area is not very affordable or not affordable at all for the average family. Let's see. More than 100 million U.S. adults are not working at all. That's a lot of motherfuckers that ain't doing shit. Wow. That's a lot of people.
Come on, man.
For those that do not another survey that was conducted, 100 million motherfuckers, 100 million adults are not working. That's like, wow. It's like a third of the population, and then more than a third of the adult population. That's probably like 40% of the adult population ain't working. That's fucked up. See, that shows you that America is a house of cards. Because if you can have 100 million motherfuckers that ain't working, something ain't right. I know you got the elderly. I don't know what percentage of the population they are, but I'm talking about. I wonder how that 100 million breaks down. American consumers aren't feeling great about the economy. Okay, hold up, I just did that one. The purchasing power of our money has been steadily declining, and now 65% of employed Americans are struggling to even afford everyday essentials. 65% of the survey respondents said that affording everyday essentials was a top contributor to their financial strain. Jared Kessler, founder of Forex Broker, said the concentration of stress around essentials is a key indicator that the problem runs deeper than any short-term financial shocks. It's clear, based on this data, that we are experiencing a real cost of living crisis as opposed to an immediate inflationary response to the COVID-19 pandemic, he told Newsweek. Read that last sentence again because it's so true. We are in the midst of a nightmarish cost of living crisis that never seems to end. Let me tell you something, bro. You got to evaluate yourself and basically see if what you're doing is inflation hedged. For example, inflation hedged type of careers would be something like sales, or even will be real estate sales, any kind of sales. If you're selling something, then you're getting a percentage. And if you're getting a percentage, that means that if you're selling cars, if you know over the past 20 years, the cost of cars has gone up. So your commission is 7%, 10%, whatever it is. It's going to go up as the price of the cars go up. So you're inflation hedged. If you're in business, you're like me. Inflation came, and one day I went to my supplier, and my supplier said, yo, you was paying X amount of dollars per unit. Now it's X plus this amount per unit. It's X more per unit. So I was like, damn. Okay. Then I went to my stores and my customers. Y'all was paying X amount of dollars. Now it's X plus 20% amount of dollars. And they was like, damn. Then they went to their little registers and they jacked the price up. So I'm inflation heads. Sales people was inflation heads. Production-oriented people's inflation heads. Even people that do services like plumbing and shit. That shit keep going up. HVAC, those services keep going up. But certain like jobs where you get a salary, where it's not based on no type of commission or no type of production or no type of nothing, compared, your ass is not inflation head. So you're going to be one of those motherfuckers that's falling behind. So when I came up, the safest thing you could do was get a job with a good company where you could stay and last. That was like my pops up until my generation. We was company people. We just want to latch on to a company and ride that motherfucker for 30 years. That shit ain't there no more. Now, there's really not a lot of safety. You know what I'm saying? That's available. But for me, the most safe place to be is entrepreneurship. Even if your business might not last for 10 years, you have the business skills that can carry you. Because there's a lot of skills that's entailed in business: sales, marketing, product analysis, things like that. So let's say my business is just not viable anymore. I can do a different business. know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't want to be stuck in the job because a lot of these people getting stuck in jobs and you went to college and you got your experience and everything you know is about this one thing you do. And then some goddamn AI or some software come out and we don't need people to do that no more. The AI gonna do it. Now your ass is nowhere. You don't know shit about business. You don't know shit about sales. And the shit you do know is now a cassette tape. It's now a CD. Shit become invalid. Shit become obsolete. You obsolete. Just like them DEI bitches. They obsolete now. Nobody don't need them no more. So that one lady, if you was here earlier, she was the global lead in diversity inclusion, and she had to go get a damn job at the bookstore. She's talking about, I'm happy at the bookstore, even though I'm making a quarter of the money. And an economy like this, who can afford to lose 75% of their income? Motherfuckers that's making $130,000 a year is broke. Because they think they rich, so they go and getting a bunch of shit and they in debt up to their eyeballs. Now you got a motherfucker just, you know what I'm saying? A regular person that been doing the job. So that's why they talking about the trades and those black women. Well, we're the only ones affected. I got a fucking degree in African American studies. I got an MBA and I don't have a job. And it's not the other people that's affected, not even the black men. The black men are not being hit with it. Yeah, because the black man fucking driving the bus, the niggas fixing pipes, the niggas a mechanic, he's doing shit real. He's fucking construction. He's doing shit that gotta be done. He's goddamn pile driving and fixing the pipes under the street and goddamn doing physical real, working on the oil rig and driving the gas tank truck and hazardous materials and all kind of shit. The black man really doing real work. Ain't nobody gonna give a black man no goddamn DI job. So now when the tide going out, your motherfucking ass is sitting up in here talking about this, is thinking it's about race. It ain't got nothing to do with race. The shit you doing was a fake fucking job.
When you look at what Lord Hybrid is saying, he's right about all that, really.
So it's real in this field. So 60%, look at this shit. At this stage, 60% of employed Americans could only cover 3 months or less of expenses if they were to lose their job. Damn. So if you lose your job, you got 3 months before you hit the goddamn po house, or you up in that shelter, or you moving back in with moms and them. 60%, and then these bitches don't want no man. I'm independent. I don't need a man. I don't need no fucking man. I got a degree. I got an MBA. I'm an empowered black woman.
You dummy!
60% of respondents said they could only cover 3 months or less of expenses if they were to lose their job, leaving little room for error in the event of layoffs, illness, or other events that could impact their financial standing. For many, even routine expenses are being trimmed. Most of the country is living right on the edge. Nobody can deny this. Trump, all your measurables is looking real fucked up, big homie. And consumer sentiment rapidly moved in the wrong direction in 2025. Your first year in his office. So consumer sentiment under Trump rapidly moved in the wrong direction. Did Trump make America great again or broke again? The data is saying he's making us broke. Now his big mouth blabbing and boasting is self-aggrandizing. He's saying everything's good. We have full employment. We got this the best economy. We're the hot country. Meanwhile, you got the sell America. You bombing niggas. You capturing motherfuckers that ain't got no criminal charges. Big homie, you want to go look in the mirror? Between January and November, last year, consumer sentiment among the lowest and middle class terciles of American household income fell. Wow, they said, hold on. Oh, the sentiment fell 29.8%. So you making niggas feel 30% worse, Trump, and 27.6% respectively, while the country's highest third of earners suffered a steeper. Wow, even that. See that look. AI is coming for the educated motherfuckers. The new college grads can't get shit. And then the when I was a kid, like the people that was working in the factory producing shit, they would kind of look down on, like, I didn't want to be that. Go to college. Don't you know that people with a college degree earn over a lifetime $1 million more? Get a corporate job. Get a good job. Go work at the corporation in the big, tall, fancy building. Wear a collar. Don't go work at the goddamn foundry plant where you get your hands dirty and you come home with soot on your ass, even though you making some, you making batteries and motherfucking goddamn pressing metals that's fabricating shit and doing hardcore ass shit, making tires and shit that motherfuckers really need, and you really working. You're making a livable wage. You're making a decent wage, but go to that magic college over there and get one of them pieces of paper, them old degrees down there. Go ahead over there, get your education, boy. Remember the whole when I was coming up, education is key. All the black leaders, blacks need an education. All the black education. And we got the fucking education. They ain't tell us about the goddamn loans. They forgot to tell us about that. Now, education is a fucking CD. It's a fucking 8-track. It's a fucking cassette. It's fucking, you don't need it. The education you need, you better take your ass to Job Corps, to trade school, business, learn how to, not business college, nigga, business, motherfucking read a book and learn to get out there and get the hustling business. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm telling you, when I was there, was education, black people, education is key. No, you motherfuckers need fathers, you need families, mom, dad, kids, structure, guidance, discipline, and you need to go out there and figure out what's going on, know the trends, and know where to place yourself, and then know how to change. Because even if you get a job and you get a good career, the average person is going to get invalidated or obsolesced at least once during a career. You got to have adaptability.
Lord Hybrid is right.
Yo, Lord Hybrid, I'm gonna agree with you too.
I'm telling you. So the highest third of earners suffered a steeper 32.1 decline in sentiment. The people that's making the money is scared. Our politicians in Washington shouldn't have been borrowing and spending so much money all these years. But they did. And we should have never allowed ourselves to go $38.4 trillion in debt. But we did. Now, but we didn't. We didn't do shit. So I'm going to stop these niggas from giving $300 billion to Ukraine so that the politicians like faggot ass goddamn Lindsey Graham can steal money. I'm going to stop Trump from bombing Iran. I'm gonna stop them from kidnapping. We didn't do shit. We can't control what the fuck they do. Don't put that shit on us. No, but they did, and we should have never allowed ourselves to. We didn't get in 34. Nobody ain't giving us no $38.4 trillion in debt. No, they did that. So it ain't but we did, it's but they did again. We didn't do shit. Most motherfuckers just going to work and paying their bills. We can't stop them from what they do with our tax dollars. Many of us ranted about the bad decisions that were being. We voted Trump in because of Doge. He was gonna cut shit. Now he's talking about I'm gonna increase the military budget by 50%. So they was getting $1 trillion. Now they're gonna get 1.5 trillion. We didn't do that. I didn't do that. You didn't do that. He did that. Trump did that. He made us broke again. Sadly, many of us ranted about the bad decisions that were being made for years, but most of the population didn't listen. Sadly, as I pointed out in a previous article, we have now reached a point where affordability has become the number one issue for U.S. voters. Let me see that. Affordability. A University of Michigan poll published in December shows that high prices remain a pain point for consumers. About 46% blame high prices for poor personal finances, among the highest shares since the series started in the late 1970s. That's true, Eagle Eye. The military didn't request that. He just wanted to stuff another $500 billion in their pockets, and they don't even want it. They didn't ask for it. Consumers' views of their current financial situation in December collapsed into negative territory for the first time since July 2022. The month after the pandemic era inflation had peaked, according to a poll published Tuesday. So people broke and they think they broke. Consumers' view of their current financial situation in December collapsed into negative territory for the first time since July 2022, the month after the pandemic. Overall, 65% of U.S. households say the cost of living has gotten worse or much worse in the past year. The past year. Donald Trump, the past year. Trump became president in the past year, according to a recent political poll. Previous generations handed us the keys to the greatest economic machine that the world had ever seen, and we went out and wrecked it. No, the government wrecked it. We didn't do shit. We just went to work. Stop blaming us. They wrecked it, not us. 50 years ago, the U.S. economy was so dominant that it would have taken stupidity on an epic scale to cause it to fail. How about corruption on an epic scale? But somehow they managed to do it, the politicians. Even though our standard of the and they're spending, they're getting us in debt spending on non-Americans. Okay, we in 38 trillion. Why did Biden open up and let in 15 million motherfuckers that we got to pay for? Why are you letting these goddamn Somalians scam the government? Why are you spending all our military? I'm talking about anytime Israel got a problem, we gonna send a whole fleet of motherfuckers over there. Ships, planes. It'd be $1 billion in transportation costs. Then another $1 billion in bombs. Then another $1 billion go back home. All this shit, 300 billion something for Ukraine. If we could just stop giving these other motherfuckers money and stop letting these motherfuckers in, I'm like, let some people in that's gonna do some work, not some niggas that's gonna be sitting up and we gotta pay them every month. We didn't do that. They did that. The government did that. Even though our standard of living is in the process of collapsing all around us, most Americans are still working hard and are effectively trying to muscle through this. What we're seeing is there's still inflation pressure across the system, particularly in the retail environment, and consumers, through our research, tell us they are effectively trying to muscle through this. Will whoever that is, America's retail sector leader at EY Pantheon, says they're trying to buy what they've always bought or want to buy, but in face of higher prices. Most of us want to continue to live the way we did before, but we simply do not have enough money to do it. Americans' household debt levels, including mortgages, car loans, credit cards, and student loans, are now at a new record high. Mine is at a new record low, according to data released Wednesday by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Total household debt reached $18.59 trillion from July through September of this year, up by $197 billion from the previous quarter. Of course, the federal government is an even bigger offender. The U.S. government is now $38.4 trillion in debt, and it's being projected that the number will be well above $40 trillion before the end of this year. For more than a decade, I warned about what would happen if we kept going down this road, and now it has. And now it has happened. We are literally committing societal suicide. Next time you feel like screaming when you are paying your bills, you might want to remember who got us into this mess in the first place. It's the government, man. And trust, they don't give a damn, and it ain't really, what can we do? What can we do? So, I mean, the purpose of this stream was did Trump make America great again or broke again? And it just looked like to me, based on the measurables, the metrics, and all of that, that he made us broke again. You know what I'm saying? So whenever I hear Trump bragging about, I agree, Eagle Eye. It wasn't him by himself, because he don't write them bills. He just signed them. There's a whole bunch of people that's supposed to represent us in the Congress that write bills that sends out monies to other places, to foreign lands, or give it all to the military, or all this crap. Now you want a golden dome. The fuck we need with that? This shit ain't gonna work. It's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So, whenever I hear Trump up there, this is the hottest country, and this is the best place, and the economy is booming, and we doing this, all I want to really tell him is,
yo, Lord Hybrid, I'm gonna agree with you too.
No, that's not what I want to tell him. That's exactly not what I want to tell him. I want to tell him this.
Shut the fuck up!
You know what I'm saying? And when you try to tell me that America is doing good, I want to tell you.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
So I think, you know, when I watch stuff like Nigeria and stuff like that, people, you know, the government needs to do this. The government, yo, forget the government, man. You better start learning how to think for yourself. Somebody tell you need health insurance, think for yourself. When they tell you get full coverage, think for yourself. When they tell you to borrow, you got to go to college, think for yourself. Make a plan for yourself. Decide for yourself, because everybody wants you to think that debt is good. You know, if it requires debt, personal debt is probably bad. So think around debt. The greatest thing, one of the best things that happened to me when I was in my early 20s was I ruined my credit. I mean, my credit was like think I got down to the 300s. I know I was in the 400s. My credit was bad. Like I couldn't get nothing. I had to learn how to maneuver without credit for a long time, like a decade. Best thing ever. The best thing, I ain't gonna say the best thing ever happened to me, but one of the best learning experiences that I had was how to live without credit. Pay as I go, pay my way. You know what I mean? And that mentality is what got me to debt free. And when I use debt, use it cautiously. Like I only bought this house because I needed this house bad. Like I was getting sick and the 5G was killing me. So I was like, I got to get this debt. I got to get this house. Got this house, you know. All right, I got to grind now. But I was fortunate. Houses were much cheaper and rates was lower. So the money was cheaper and the house was cheaper. You know, the house I paid $415 for is now $650. The mortgage, $300 and some $1,000 mortgage, paid it off in exactly 3 years, to the month. Bought it October 2020, sent them $300 and some $1,000 October 2023. So cars all bought cash. So no debt. Now I just use the debt instruments. The credit card, I use the 2%. So if I spend X amount of dollars, I get 2% of that back because I'm not carrying I'm not paying. I don't gotta pay no interest. Pay me. So now the credit card company pay me 2% of everything I purchase. So I had to rewire my brain because I didn't have debt as an option. And that taught me how to maneuver different. And it was rough in the beginning, but in the long run, paid off. You know what I'm saying?
You get the fuck up for $1 million?
He wants the fucker.
Bitch nigga. I'm bitch nigga proof, nigga. Bitch niggas can't even hold on to me, nigga. It takes unintelligible focus. Ever since the morning I've awoken, I've been focused on getting my money. Got a couple of things I got to do, and it might sound funny, but I need to get with my consultant. He gonna teach me how to get this corporate credit. You better respect it. I done paid him 3 G's on his ass, so you know I'm finna really get it. And also I got brand imaging to make. Yep, I'ma send it over to my factory, so when they make my packaging, I get the cake. Make it look like a cornflake box, but better make you gotta buy it, nigga. It's gonna be good for you, to you. Nigga better understand, do you? Nigga, I'm trying to tell you what my mind be like. That's what my grind be like. That's what my shine be like. Yeah, I was at the Mercedes lot yesterday looking at that big Jeep, bam, bam, bam. You know what I'm saying? When I pull out it like bam, niggas gonna be like, damn, that nigga really is getting money. Fist over hand. And any motherfucker that don't go hand when they see me pull up with the 23s gonna have to sneeze. Cause they must have some kind of disease, nigga. Hybrid been trying to preach the truth to niggas, niggas ain't listening. So I'ma just keep on motherfucking and be insisting that y'all niggas tune in and subscribe to what I do. Cause what I do is like me feeding you vegetables, gonna be healthy for you. And your wallet and your mind frame and how I tame dame. Shit, I got a lame bitch coming over here today gonna play with dick.
You get the fuck up for $1 million?
He wants the fucker.
Fuck, give her a couple of chips. Shit, I got so many, it's like bringing off a penny.
Again with the money?
Yeah, again with the money.
Ain't really much, if any. Hell, that's gonna help you, I'm happy, but for me, that's just some throwaway money, probably. So fuck it, you made me feel real good, made my goddamn volcano erupt. Got up on me and let me hear that thunder, now you feel how I fuck. Now you wanna come back cause you get paid and you get dick down proper.
You get the fuck up for $1 million?
Goddamn it, I'm operating on these bitches. Fuck Hybrid, they need to call me the doctor. Got hoes in line and niggas making videos about hoes, talking about how to love a hoe, what to do with a hoe. Nigga, you don't need a hoe, just make a hoe do her job, nigga.
He wants the fucker.
And pay her, nigga. You ain't no player, nigga.
I can't eat!
Any bitch with me get the benefits. That's why I keep getting bad bitches all over my dick.
Oh.
stay the fuck away from these hoes. The dumb motherfuckers, like, god damn.
The freedom bell ring got me flying like a free, flying like an eagle. Let's go! Free! Let's go!
Ain't nobody slinging no dick in here but Big Daddy, because he's the only one paying bills.
Right.
Because I told you last night don't be fucking smoking if you ain't got my fucking money. I told you that shit last night, right? If you ain't got my money.
Suck a dog dick, nigga. Fuck you, nigga.
I hate you. I hate you too, little nigga. And I said I suck your dick. I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke. I can't eat.
Again with the money?
Yeah, again with the money.
Get my money, you chink, bitch!
You ain't black.
You dummy!
Sit down and shut the fuck up, bitch! When you look at what Lord Hybrid is saying, he's right about all that, really.
Well, if you believe in God, believe in SP motherfucking I. Believe in that, for real.
I want all the cars. I want all my niggas with the cars. I want all the hoes. I want all the jewelry. We popping bottles.
I told you this, nigga.
In business, the goal is for you to become independent and be the boss, take the responsibility, and also get the profit.
I ain't got no motherfucking boss. SP motherfucking I.
Lord Hybrid, appreciate all of the impact that you got me to do. You got me to make content.
Lord Hybrid, my boy, man. Thank you, my boy Lord Hybrid. Everybody spam up some W's to my boy Lord Hybrid.
I told you this, nigga, 2 years ago, you was gonna get left.
Thank you, Lord Hybrid.
Shout out to Lord Hybrid.
Lord Hybrid.
Lord Hybrid.
Lord Hybrid. Shout out to Lord Hybrid.
Shout out to Lord Hybrid.
I'm saying, Lord Hybrid, I see you, sir. Salute.
And the woman gonna know, okay, he got something. He pulled up in the G-Wagon.
I'm getting money out here independently. I own my own brands 100%. And I bought the G-Wagon cash. Lord Hybrid.
Yo, Lord Hybrid. My boy got them bands, bro.
And then I want to give an acknowledgement to my rich friends in the building. Shout out to Lord Hybrid.
Nigga got money. I got money too.
I can smell a motherfucker with money.
SP motherfucking I.
I told you this, nigga. You was gonna get left.
Jason. Get the fuck off our dick.
Get my money, you chink, bitch!
Whip that pussy. You ain't nobody.
I told you this, nigga. We are better than you niggas. We are better than you niggas.
You ain't nobody.
We are better than you niggas. You're so dumb. We are better than you niggas.
You ain't shit.
We are better than you niggas.
You ain't shit.
We are better than you niggas.
You ain't nobody.
We are better than you niggas. You're so dumb. We are better than you niggas.
You ain't nobody.
We are better than you niggas.
Wow.
We are better than you niggas. 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 You're so dumb.
You ain't nobody. You ain't shit.
We don't claim you.
SP motherfucking I.
These niggas can't touch us.
Come on, man.
Again with the money?
Yeah, again with the money.
God damn, look at my pockets now. Started my own business. I done blew up for realists. Stacks coming in every day. On foreign islands is where the fuck I stay. Fucking foreign bitches, they be cooking, they be fucking, they be sucking. Man, it isn't nothing. I'm the motherfucking shit. Bitch, without you, I'm set free. I'm so damn high. You got to look up on the sky, cause I'm on a plane, that's why. To an international destination with no hesitation. Got bitches waiting at reception with invitations with my name on it, goddammit. I done turned my life to the shit. And guess what? I didn't need no motherfucking bitch.
You got left.
SP motherfucking I.
Get the fuck out of here.